Welcome to Seneca Indians Football, live on KNEO.org. This broadcast is a sporting outreach of the KNEO Sports Network. You're now locked into the official pregame show of the Seneca Indians. This is your home for every sack, interception, and touchdown. Now let's join Seth Wilson, Ben Walcott, and Daryl Harbaugh live on location.
Good evening and welcome to Seneca Indian Football here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network. I'm Seth Wilson. We are coming to you from Lamar, Missouri, as the Indians getting ready to take on the defending state champions, the Lamar Tigers in Class 2. Here in just a few moments, Seneca comes in with a record of 8-0 after defeating East Newton by a score of 56-7 last week. The Tigers come to here tonight with a 5-3 record. They start the season falling to McDonald County 39-35. They won 3 in a row against East Newton 42-6, Tipton 21-7, and Cassville 35-26. Then they fell to Mount Vernon, being shut out for the first time since 2013, 21-0. And then Nevada defeated them the following week 27-7. They come in riding a 2-game winning streak over Monette 27-24 and Aurora 42-20. I'm joined by Ben Walcott and Coach Daryl Harbaugh on the sidelines tonight with us. It's a nice night up here tonight. The rain has left the area. It's a little chilly. Got a little bit of wind coming at us here on the top rise of the visitor bleachers. But, Ben, it's always a tough battle here at Lamar. Seneca's came away with some hard-fought victories over the years. Two powerhouse teams should put on a show tonight for fans.
Yeah, it should be a fun one. You look, one of the top teams in Class 2 facing the top team in Class 3. Obviously, this Lamar team has lost a lot from last year's team that won a state championship. But Lamar, it's just kind of like what Seneca's done these past couple of years. It's next man up, and they're kind of expecting to make a run. It's kind of interesting. You look at their district. You know, right now they're ranked second in their district with a win tonight. They probably can jump Holden for first with a 6-3 record. Holden looking like they may finish 8-1, but Lamar, one of the smallest teams in the Big 8, they're playing up almost every week, so they get a ton of those bonus points each and every week, and this defense is going to be a sound defense regardless of who's playing for Lamar, and Seneca is going to have their hands full all night.
Well, you said the defending state champion lost a lot from last year. Two things that's gone is the guy that brought a lot of the state championships to Lamar, Scott Bailey. Also gone is Coach Orkus, the defensive coordinator. Both those guys retired after last season after their state championship run where they defeated Fair Grove up in Columbia. So a lot of not necessarily new faces for Lamar, but two familiar faces have gone away and onto the retirement plan. And retirement plan is kind of funny to say, but anyway, they're no longer.
Daryl's giving you a funny look.
Making fun of the retired people.
That's right. That's right. And so it's a different look for sure on the sidelines for Lamar, but a lot of the same principles Coach Bailey instilled in these guys when he came here so many years ago, over 15 years ago, to get this program where it was. So it's always going to be a tough battle. And Coach might have a defensive battle tonight. Both teams a bit down this week. Still missing Probert at quarterback tonight. Lamar without their starting quarterback, I believe that is Braden Wolf, has been out since the Mount Vernon game. Kai Adams missing time for Seneca. Could be a low-scoring, quick game with both teams looking to run the ball a lot.
Well, it could be. You know that both teams are kind of banged up, Seth, and I know they want to get everybody healthy before they hit that district playoffs and into the state playoffs. I agree 100%. I think Lamar's playing up, and I don't know who's Holden is playing, but I got a feeling that Lamar has a good chance to be the number one seed. Even though they're 6-3, it could be they beat 6-4 if Seneca happens to beat them tonight. They still might be the number one seed.
They're 5-3, could be 5-4.
Oh, they could be 5-4 and still be number one.
Yeah,
and everybody in that district probably knows that Lamar's the team to beat.
And the interesting thing about that district, like we said, you know, Lamar, if they're banged up, they're probably hoping for that bye. Seneca knows they have a bye, so you know Lamar might have a little bit more to play for tonight than Seneca does.
All right, we'll take a quick 1-minute break. We come back, we'll have more pregame show for you. Your countdown to kickoff sponsors, People's Bank of Seneca and Prater's Pharmacy.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is better health, better you.
And welcome back in here to the Seneca Indian Sports Network. We are 38 minutes away from kickoff, 39 I guess you call it, from kickoff here at Lamar, Missouri at Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium. Let's recap last week's game. East Newton started out on offense, but Seneca was able to hold them to just one first down on that opening drive. The Indians started the ball with their own 49-yard line, and 7 plays later, Roman Miller found the end zone, and the Indians never trailed in that contest last week. Miller went on to score 4 first-half touchdowns, and the Indians led 28-7 at the half. The opening kickoff of the second half was returned by Hunter Haynes at his own 4-yard line, got through the first line, and made his way to the end zone for a 96-yard touchdown. And then Davidson found Graham after the Indians turned the Patriots' defense over on downs for a scoring strike to make it 42-7. Miller added his 5th touchdown on the next drive, and the night's scoring was capped off by Logan Thompson taking it 90 yards with just under a minute to go in the game to make it a final score of Seneca 56, East Newton 7. Ben, this might have been the first game without a ton of adversity because Coach Hilburn's talked about that a lot throughout the season. The only time they were dealt with any type of adversity was right before the half when they failed to convert on 3 passing plays, turned the ball over on downs, and giving East Newton a relatively short field. Kind of what stood out for you on the offense's performance last week against East Newton?
Just how fluid everything seemed like it was for them. Really the first time, like you mentioned, no true adversity on this team, able to get 4 or 5 yards of carry, and then when they wanted to pass the ball, able to pass the ball pretty successfully. They're going to have a much harder time here tonight trying to run the ball, I think, against a very good, stout Lamar defense. It doesn't seem to matter who is coaching for Lamar and who's the defensive coordinator. I'm sure Coach can attest to this, but Lamar is going to be sound fundamentally, and they're going to cause a whole lot of trouble for the Seneca offense.
Coach Beshore, a product of Coach Bailey's tenure here, and had a successful career, helped bring that first state championship to Lamar, so he knows the system well. He's been running it here. How many years has he been here now? Probably 6 or 7?
Yeah, he started in 2019.
Who, Beshore?
Yeah,
I
Beshore.
think it's been even before that. Either way, he's been here a while. He knows the program that Coach Bailey had implemented here, so he knows how to get the defense rolling, get the offense rolling. But so Seneca's got to be ready to run the ball, and it's going to be tough for him to do that tonight.
Well, like you said, Seth, it doesn't matter who the D coordinator is. The kids growing up, nobody's going to change their system. And, no D coordinator is going to come in and say, hey, we're going to switch things up. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to run the same system, and everybody knows it.
A few years ago, Lamar returned 8 guys in the box that they had from the previous season when they had all that success. I think that might have been 23 whenever Morgan and those guys would have been seniors. And I think Lamar had returned 8 of those guys in the box on the defensive side of the football that were all starters the year before. That was a tough defense to get through. Coach, the defense last week held East Newton to 4 of 11 on third down conversions. While the defense has given up some big points in a couple contests, they always figure out a way to get the job done when it counts. What do you see as the biggest improvement defensively since the early going of the season from where they are to where they are now?
Well, I always said that speed was our best ally on defense. And the kids that they put in there have done a great job. They know the system. They're putting the kids back in there, that's taking care of Kai Adams, who's out right now, and anyone else that's got hurt, Brody Probert. The people are coming in, and they're doing a great job. and they're not missing much of a beat. Let's put it that way. They're always in the right position at the right time. And I think, I hate to put it on a line right now, but I think our pass defense is getting a little bit better than it was to start this year.
Well, you think about, you mentioned that pass defense. I think Aiden Crane is kind of coming into his own a little bit, and they're not going too far upfield. That seemed to be the big problem, is they could get a big pass rush, but then the quarterback's able to step up and have all kinds of time to be able to find who he wants to find. So I think they're doing a better job. You think about Crane Pendergraft on that outside. They're doing a much better job of not getting too far upfield and giving him an alleyway to step into the pocket.
When you go upfield like that, not only does the quarterback have a chance to step up, but he's got a chance to run sideways.
Yep.
Left and right, get out, extend the play, and that makes it even tougher on our defensive backs. That makes it tougher to defend that long. I'll tell you someone who doesn't get much credit at all, and most of the time it's Drew Sherwood, because Drew Sherwood's on probably one of their best receivers every week. And I think last week we ran pretty much just plain zone. But most of the time, if there's an number 1A receiver, Drew Sherwood's on him and trying to shut him down.
Well, Coach Hilburn talked to me about how we played man for so long. Now switching over to zone is kind of a big change for these guys in that secondary, and that may be part of the reason why it's taken a little bit for them to adapt as the season's gone along, because they weren't used to running it.
It's different because it's different steps. It's different steps on your reads. When you're going back, you're reading different things when you're in zone than when you're in man. You're reading in man, you're reading the player. In zone, you're reading the offensive line. And the looks that you're getting and the reads that you're getting are different, and it's tough if you just strictly man and all of a sudden go zone.
Do you think, from a coach's standpoint, it's a little bit more difficult to get your guys to come up and run support on a man defense or on a zone defense, Coach?
Well, when you're on man defense, you're on that man, and run defense is your secondary option. That's the reason we have so many safeties running downhill. That's the reason, Blaze Graham and Hunter Haynes, they're getting a lot of tackles from the safety position because they're running downhill. That's the run support when you're in man-to-man. But when you're in zone and they're setting back there to two deep zone or a single safety zone or something like that, run support is your last resort. That's your second option. When you're in zone, when you're in man, you've got to cover the guy, and you got to make sure it's a run before you can come off and help. Because you come off too early, that quarterback dumps it over the top, and it's 6, and you can't do anything about it.
I've seen that happen a time or two in my career playing. It's been 7 years ago since that happened, but I remember getting burnt because I'd look in the backfield, my guy would be gone over my head, and they'd pop a little touchdown pass over my head like you were talking about.
Right. Now, when you're in zone, I used to teach the kids, I said, what you have to do is you have to learn to read the offensive tackle. Now, the offensive tackle, if he backs up, you're backing up. As simple as that. And if that offensive tackle goes sideways, you're going sideways. But if that offensive tackle fires up down the field, he's blocking, your run support.
All right, we'll take another break here. We come back, we'll have our Southwest shout-out. Countdown to Kickoff sponsors People's Bank of Seneca and Prater's Pharmacy.
A business impact partner of KNEO is ProLube Tire and Auto Center in Neosho. Serving the area since 2001, they're open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. ProLube Tire and Auto Center offers tire and brake repair, as well as transmission service, front-end alignments, and more. Located at 1406 North Business 49 in Neosho. More information 417-526-4984 or online at proluberepair.com.
It's time for 60 Seconds with the Seneca Senior, and we have Stone Orr, their first question. What is your favorite sport other than football?
Basketball.
And what position on the football field would you want to play other than the position you play now?
Probably running back.
And what is your favorite food?
Steak.
And what is your favorite hobby outside of sports?
Video games.
And who is your favorite sports team?
Chiefs.
Who's your favorite athlete?
Probably Tyreek Hill.
What's your favorite subject in school?
Gym.
And what are your plans after high school?
Go to college to become an automotive technician.
And who is your role model?
Roman Miller, Brody Probert, Jace Renfro. people like them.
Okay, and if you could tell your family one thing, what would you want to tell them?
Thank you.
All right, that's been 60 seconds with Stone Oiler.
And we welcome you back here to Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium in Lamar, Missouri. And sorry, so I thought Ben was talking to me there. It's time for the Southwest shout-out. Last week we gave a shout-out to the district standings. Of course, Seneca has locked up that number 1 seed. We'll have the bye week next week. This week we're going to give a shout-out to the Seneca Youth Football Program, the teams that are playing the 3rd, 4th, and 5th and 6th grade teams in Seneca. This last weekend in Neosho on Saturday, the 4th grade team finished off their undefeated season with a win against Lamar by a score of 20-8. Congratulations to those guys. 3rd grade team was rained out Saturday afternoon. They were supposed to play 2 games after the 4th grade team. They got rained out, so they moved that game to Webb City on Sunday for a 1 o'clock kickoff against a tough Webb City team. And the 3rd grade team was able to put up 12 points to Webb City 6 to keep their perfect season intact as well. So congratulations to the 3rd and 4th grade teams, both of them finishing off an undefeated season and they're winning their Super Bowls. This weekend, the 5th grade team will take on a Webb City team at Monette at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and the 6th grade team will take on the Mount Vernon team immediately following the 5th grade game. So shout out to those Seneca youth football programs. I believe every single team is undefeated this season, so they've really run the table through 3rd through 6th grade. So shout out to those guys for having a great season. Those coaches, they put up a lot of time. They have a lot of conditioning in July. I know a lot of the athletic club gets that going, and they team up with some of the high school coaches, and man, they just do a tremendous job. So shout out to those guys and all the hard work that they put in. It's paying off. You can see with those Super Bowl victories that they've had. You guys, if you ever get a chance to go to some of those youth games, Coach, I know you've probably gone to in the past, but those youth games are a lot of fun. That's the future of Seneca football, and they do a good job. A lot of them running, Coach Hilburn's talked about, a lot of them run the same type of offense that he runs on Friday night. A lot of them running 4th grade team running shotgun already, which is remarkable. And I don't think they had one snap on the ground this last week. I went over and watched them at Neosho, so they did a good job. All right. Seneca, thought you were going to have something there, Coach.
Well, yeah, it could talk. They absolutely do a great job. And the guys who coach them, stuff that put so much time in, big shout out to them.
I walked into the wrestling room one evening to pick my daughter up from cheer or something, and the 5th grade team was sitting there watching film. Like, that's impressive. I know the coaches for the 3rd grade team watching film, seeing what the other teams have. They're figuring things out to help give their team every advantage that they can. So watching film on themselves, seeing how well they play. So hats off to those guys and the hard work that they put in. It's time for Seneca by the numbers. 3,949 total yards, 3,211 rushing yards, 8.87 yards per carry, 69% 3rd down conversion, and 70.59% 4th down conversion on the season. We'll take a break. We come back. We'll have another senior spot, and we'll have the blast from the past right after this.
Amry Roofing and Construction, based in Seneca, Missouri, specialize in roofing, siding, guttering, remodels, decks, and new construction. They also handle concrete, fire, and flood mitigation, and even work directly with your insurance claims. 417-389-6986. Whether it's a small repair or a major project, you can count on Amry Roofing and Construction for quality, integrity, and craftsmanship. See more online at amryroofing.com or find them on Facebook.
It's time for 60 seconds with a Seneca senior, and we have Kai Adams. First question is, what is your favorite sport other than football?
Probably have to be track, even though practice is terrible.
And what position would you want to play in the football field other than the position you play now?
Probably wide receiver.
And what is your favorite food?
Nachos.
Your favorite hobby outside of sports?
Playing video games, maybe.
Who's your favorite sports team?
Baltimore Ravens.
Who's your favorite athlete?
Ray Lewis.
And what's your favorite subject in school?
Gym.
And what are your plans after high school?
To go play college football.
And who is your role model?
My grandpa.
And if you could tell your family one thing, what would you want to tell them?
Thank you.
All right, that's been 60 seconds with Kai Adams.
And we welcome you back in here to Lamar, Missouri, as we are 25 minutes away from kickoff between these two storied high school football teams. It's time for the blast from the past. Last week we looked at the team from 2001. This week we'll look back at the team from 1972, a team we haven't covered yet in our history of the blast from the past. Seneca started that season against Aurora, narrowly escaping with a win. Aurora struck in the first half, leading that one 7-0, but the Indians were able to score with 2 minutes left in the game and got a 2-point conversion to win the game 8-7. In week 2 against Wyandotte, Seneca won that one 38-8. Bruce Cook had 4 touchdowns, 2 of them being on punt returns, and Seneca was up 32 at the half. Alvin Albert also connected to Cook on a 20-yard scoring strike. Dan Heffern also ran a kickback 85 yards, and Albert had his own 42-yard touchdown run in that game against Wyandotte. In a close one in week 3, Alvin Albert's 7-yard touchdown run in the second quarter, followed by Bruce Cook's 2-point conversion, proved to be the difference as Seneca defeated Willard by a score of 8-6. And week 4, Seneca battled East Newton in the Battle of the Unbeatens. Seneca falling 18-14. They won that one. Won that one 18-14 in week 5 after having a bye week in week 4. Seneca trailed that one 7-6 at half. Then Charles Hudson had a touchdown run of 85 yards in the second quarter, opened Seneca's scoring in the game, and Hudson had a fourth quarter run as well. So did Bruce Cook to win that one 18-14. In the week 6, they traveled up against rival McDonald County. Falling in that one 26-20, McDonald County led at the half 19-12. Alvin Albert and Charles Hudson both had scores in the first half. Albert completed a pass to Danny Rozier from 54 yards out to conclude the scoring for the Indians. In a game against Bentonville, Arkansas, Albert connected with Greg Long in the second quarter for a 78-yard strike. Then Albert hit Cook from 3 yards out to put Seneca up 14-8. A 10-yard scoring pass from Bentonville with 18 seconds left in the game put Bentonville tied up at 14. John Ballard, though, was able to block the point after, and the game ended in a tie against a tough Bentonville, Arkansas team. In week 8, they traveled and played against another Arkansas team, Siloam Springs. They traveled to Seneca. Bruce Cook scored in the second quarter. Seneca led in the half as Charles Hudson had a 12-yard run in the second, and Siloam was able to score and convert on the point after in the fourth quarter, winning that one 14-12. In the final game of the season, the Indians traveled to Grove and got shut out 42-0. Seneca went 4-4-1 on that season. Coach, I don't know if you have any little tidbits you want to add to that 1972 squad. You might have been a little bit young for you.
I was only 11 years old at that time, but, I know all the names that you're sitting there reading off. And all good football players that come out of Seneca, so they were.
All right, we're going to take a break. We want to salute that team in 1972, another great team of history, Seneca's history of tradition, pride, and class. We'll come back with the Coach's Show right after this.
I'm Bryce Johnson with this Unpacking It Sports and Faith Minute. In basketball, running an isolation offense requires balance. While isolating a certain player can be beneficial at times, it often leads to negative results if used too much. In our own lives, we also need to balance when it comes to isolation. On one end, it can be very negative for us if we're always alone and don't interact in meaningful ways with others. The Bible says, whoever isolates himself seeks his own desire, he breaks out against all sound judgment. On the other hand, there is great value in seeking the Lord in solitude, as it prepares us to be involved with others. Jesus led by example in demonstrating the rhythm of isolation and going out and ministering to others. He would regularly go out by himself to pray and then would return to be with his disciples. Today, let's be challenged to spend time in isolation while also finding opportunities to surround ourselves with others to do life with. I'm Bryce Johnson, and you can unpack that. For more, go to unpackingit.com.
It's time for the Cody Hoburn Coaches Show. The Coaches Show is sponsored by Prater's Pharmacy and New Mack Electric. Now here's Seth Wilson and head coach Cody Hoburn.
Saw a team last week shut down the Patriots offense. While it wasn't quite a shutout, you forced 4 turnovers on down, block punt, interception, punt, and a fumble. How do you guys feel like you did defensively? How'd they grade out against the Patriots?
Yeah, I was proud of our defense. The thing that we had to do was we had to stop the run, and we got to get back to making teams one-dimensional and doing things the right way in our run fits. And I was super proud. I think they rushed for 60 yards, which was huge for us. We turned them into a passing team, and then we're able to force a few turnovers.
At this point in the season, you guys would like the team to be clicking on all cylinders at every aspect of the game. We talked about the defense. The offense has been steady. Something that took off on Friday was the special teams. Kickoff return of 96 yards, which we didn't even talk about after the game. The block punt, perfect on PATs. Walk us through a typical special teams practice and comment on the improvement they've had from the start of the season till now.
Yeah, we open with special teams every day. It's our first 10-minute period of practice, and we get our kids out. We get them out punting, we get them out kicking. All the details of all of our special teams. And then on Tuesday we rep our kickoff and kickoff return. On Wednesdays we rep our punt return, and PAT teams. And then Thursday we hit them all one more time. And as far as special teams go, you don't get a lot of live reps in practice, and so they're a little bit slower to evolve through the year because you're able to make more adjustments because we do get live reps on the offensive and defensive side. So the personnel is always changing with injuries and things like that. But from a scheme standpoint, we've gone with a different kicker. So our approach have changed a little bit on the kickoff team. And then we've thought we've had the threat to do that on the kickoff return team all year long. We just haven't got a lot of opportunities. People are starting to do the same to us with some sky kicks and squib kicks and things like that. And we got two pretty good returners back there in Hunter Haynes and Blaze Graham. And when teams do kick it deep, we got to execute and have a chance to do that.
You guys, JV came in with a fumble recovery late in the game. Thompson having a 90-yard touchdown run. We haven't talked about them a whole lot this year, but I know they're having a successful season as well. We spoke about last year about the guys having to wait their turn for Friday nights. Tell us about the season they're having on the JV and freshman squad and how that develops culture for future success on Friday night.
Yeah, our JV's undefeated, and that's not our goal on Monday nights. We like to win on Monday nights, but that's not what we're necessarily trying to do. We're trying to play a ton of kids on Monday nights and get them productive reps. But I think you see our JV and young guys have success because of what they do on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And those are the guys that are going up against our varsity guys. And that's not an easy task. And I think sometimes if you have to go fit Roman Miller up on a Tuesday and Wednesday, when you get to Monday, the game slows down a little bit. And I think that's what's happening. I think our culture of how our practice is supposed to look on Tuesdays and Wednesdays is a result of the success we have on Monday nights.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is Your Touchstone Energy Partner.
On the road this week at Lamar, defending Class 2 champions. They always execute so well on offense. They have a tall back in Williams who's tough to bring down. They have a speedster in Ainsley. What are you preparing for them from their offense that you have seen on film that they do really well?
Yeah, they obviously are able to run the football. And when you get to late in the season like this in the Big 8, there's a good chance it's gonna have some weather on Friday night. You got to be able to run the ball, and they do it really well. And they don't run the same offense as us, but they are similar. And it appears that they're running the same play, over and over again. It's not. They're able to block their base stuff several different ways, and that messes with your run fits. And so we have to have an answer to that. We got to be very sound in our run fits, because if one person's not in the right spot, they got a chance for a big explosive play.
Defensively, they held Monette to just 24 points. Didn't allow them to score in the second half. They're always solid on defense, no matter the personnel. They've ran a 4-2. They've ran a 4-3 defense primarily. Their defense does a good job of slowing down the run game. How are you looking to attack their defense? Because we primarily like to run the ball.
Yeah, you're right. They are very sound in their run fits, and they have been for a long time. And they actually transitioned to a new defensive coordinator this year. So the hope was that maybe they wouldn't be quite as sound, but that's not the case. They're the same group that we always see on film. They're going to force you to do something different. They're not going to allow you to go out and do your base stuff. So we have to have some answers with formations and things like that, and some different tags in our run game. But it comes down to our guys up front. We got to win the first level, and you let Roman do his thing.
It's always the season is very long. Those 9 weeks would go by quick. We were just talking about that a while ago. We spoke last week how you spend a lot of time with these guys, which means not a whole lot of time with your family. I've been asking the seniors if they could tell their family one thing, what would it be? I'll change it up a little bit for you this week. What would you like to say to your family at the time they allowed you to spend with your second family, which is the football team and the coaches?
Yeah, that's this is a tough question for me. One that I don't even love to answer, to be honest with you, but I'm kind of a hypocrite in a way that we preach priorities to our kids, and faith, family, football is what we preach to our guys. And if you keep those three things in check, you're probably doing pretty good. And to be honest with you, I struggle sometimes in season with swapping football and family. And my families, they know this and are okay with this. I'm not necessarily okay with it at times, but they also understand that it's not just football for us. Hopefully we're having a bigger impact on a bunch of kids' lives rather than just winning football games. And so I guess the one thing I would say to my family is thank you. They make a lot of sacrifices as well, probably more than me. And I spend a lot of hours up here, but the sacrifices that my wife has to make on a weekly basis, basically being a single parent and going through all the things with my kids. And then my kids are okay with dad having to miss a few things. And that's not fair to them, but for some reason they're okay with it. They never, talk poorly of that. And I'll tell anybody that wants to have success as a football coach, you better have the wife that's on board with that, or it's not going to work. And I tell my wife all the time that whenever this gets too tough on us, I'm going to be done. And then that's the honest truth. If it's ever too hard on my family, it'll be it for me. But as of right now, they're enjoying the ride as well as I am.
You've been listening to the Cody Hoburn Coaches Show. The Coaches Show is sponsored by Prater's Pharmacy and New Mac Electric. We'll be back with more Indians football after this on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
People's Bank of Seneca is proud to support this portion of the game. They offer banking services including checking and savings accounts, CDs, and loans for individuals and businesses. They have locations in the Seneca and Joplin areas and are online at peoplesbankofseneca.com. People's Bank of Seneca, proud supporters of the Seneca Indians. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Proudly supporting the Seneca Indians is Doug's Body Works. Owned and operated by Doug Scribner, they offer a 24-hour wrecker service and specialize in auto body and frame repair. Doug's Body Works is located at 1008 Oneida in Seneca and is proud to serve the local area. 417-776-8611. Go Indians!
And we welcome you back in here as Seneca is on the road at Lamar, Missouri. We're at Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium where the Indians are getting ready to take on the Tigers in just about 12 and a half minutes. Countdown to kickoff. Sponsors, People's Bank of Seneca and Prater's Pharmacy. Like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Lamar comes in with a record of 5-3, the same as these two met last year. Seneca came in undefeated last year. Lamar came in at 5-3. Lamar 5-3 this year. Seneca undefeated. This matchup goes back to 1976. Seneca leads the all-time matchup 36-13. Most of those wins for Lamar coming from 2010 to 2019. At one point, Lamar had won 6 straight meetings. Lamar comes in averaging 26.1 points per game, down a little bit from last year, still allowing the 21 points per game, which is the same as last year. They will run some spread offense. They will run, they went back to a 2-quarterback spinner a couple times last year against us. I wouldn't be surprised to see that again. Double tight, double wing formation. Be interested to see what they run tonight. They lost their starting quarterback against Mount Vernon. They run a lot of shotgun with 2 wings last week as well. Of course, they run the wishbone in short yardage situations. Sometimes they run that almost exclusively, running some wishbone. Ben, Lamar's known to run the ball well year in and year out. It seems like they want to control the clock this year with the run game. What does Seneca need to do defensively to get off the field for this against this ball control type of offense?
Kind of like what, I edit and listen to a lot of different coaches' show. Kind of what happened to Carthage last week when they played Webb City is Webb City just kept up giving first downs. If you keep on giving up first downs, there was a drive that Carthage had last week that lasted 10.5 minutes. It started at the tail end of the third quarter and went till about a minute and a half left in the fourth quarter. Lamar is trying to limit possessions here tonight. So if you're Seneca, you have to stop them. don't give up first downs is basically the big thing. If you want this ball control offense to not have control of the game, you have to stop them. That's as easy as it comes.
That's pretty basic, pretty simple. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, when they get into the wishbone offense and they get in their two back set or whatever, is the linebackers have their keys. Read keys, and also the defensive ends have read keys that they've got to take their man. If they run the option play, triple option or whatever, you've got to take your man and be in your spot at the time. That's key. And if you're there, you better be able to make the tackle.
All right, and neither team has made their way out on the field. We're under 10 minutes to go till kickoff here. We're talking about the ball control. The game against Monette where Lamar won 27-24. I think Monette scored 2 touchdowns in the first 7 minutes of the game. I think Monette had scored their 24 points in the first half.
Correct.
Shut them out in the second half. At one point, Monette had the ball down in the red zone, I'll say twice, I know, in the second half, and both times they had a turnover on downs. I don't think they turned the ball over much against Lamar, and they still held Lamar still held them to only 24 points and then up scoring with about 1:11 left in the game. Lamar ended up kicking. It wasn't an onside kick, but it landed over there on the far 35-yard line, and Lamar was able to jump on top of it and run out the clock to win the game 27-24. So keeping that high-powered offense off the field is tough to do, and Lamar's defense was able to. Go ahead.
I thought you was done. One thing you got to understand about Lamar, they love to play man-to-man, and they love to play man-under. Against Monette, they were playing man-under. They had a safety over the top of them. But their run defense is very good, and their guys up front, their linebackers are very good at stopping the run. If case Monette ever tried to, they're going to be doing it tonight as well against Seneca.
One player that was absent from the Monette Lamar game was number 3 Smith in the backfield. I didn't see him on any of the film, so he may have been out that game. That's a big run threat for Monette. So not to take any away from. Umfleet does a good job running the ball for Monette as well, but that's a key piece of your cog that's missing from your gear from Monette's offense. But Lamar was able to hold them to 24 points, so they're ready to go. They run a 4-3 defense, does Lamar. They run always play physical. They always get the job done up front. Coach, what does Seneca need to do to attack this Lamar defense?
Lamar's defense, the defensive ends have always been, they don't go upfield. They're a read defense. They're a lot like Webb City. You watch their defensive ends. They'll attack the tight end or they'll attack the offensive tackle, but they won't run upfield and take themselves out of play. They're very hard to get a counter block on. A counter block means you come up and the backside guard pulls and knocks you out. They're hard to do that on because they don't run upfield. They're a stop, get control, and read defense. It's very tough. Our offensive line is going to have a hard time tonight and big learning curve and getting some good blocks and off those blocks and picking up some linebackers.
Are you talking about those defensive ends? I know number 11 was out there playing the linebacker position, Luis Salas. Normally he wears number 56. Tonight he's wearing number 11. Also number 65, Jackson Byers. Normally wears 65. Now he's wearing 87. So they might look to run a little bit more double tight if they use those guys in their offensive scheme and maybe send them out on the passing route because they're designated offensive linemen typically, but they're wearing receivers' numbers tonight. So they may run that double tight spinner type of look and then catch you napping and throw them down the field on a tight end hot route.
Hey, I've had over the years, I've coached offensive line that had better hands than our receivers did. It's just that they're big and you use them on the offensive line because that's where they're most valuable. But, man, you get an offensive lineman, you get a big old kid that can catch the ball, have good hands. That's a big target. Their quarterback can see him, and they can identify him and throw it to him. That's huge.
All right, we'll take another break here. We'll come back with our Inspo spot. Your countdown to kickoff sponsors, People's Bank of Seneca and Prager's Pharmacy.
Hi, I'm Pastor Rod Van Gorkum of First Baptist Church Center, and I would like to take a minute and share about grace. What is grace? Grace is when someone gives you something you don't deserve. See, I haven't done anything to deserve God's forgiveness, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve God's love, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve a bright future, but God gives away to me and to others by His grace. The Apostle Paul wrote in the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 11, "For the grace of God hath appeared, bringing salvation to all men." Have you accepted God's gift of grace, His salvation through His Son, Jesus Christ? If not, please do, for the Bible says today is the day of salvation. For KNEO Radio, I'm Rod Van Gorkum.
And we welcome you back to Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium as we are 5 minutes away from kickoff. Captains getting ready to walk out on the field. Real quick before we have the captains meeting, Ben, you have keys to victory.
I mean, we talked about it. Lamar's a ball control offense. You got to be able to shut them down first and second down, make it third down and long for this Lamar team that doesn't really want to pass the football.
And key players for you, because Coach is down there talking to our athletic director.
I think middle linebackers are going to be key tonight. You think about Jude King. You think about I'm drawing a blank on some of the other ones.
Roman Miller.
Thank you. Those two are pretty key, especially with Probert out and Kai Adams out. I think whoever replaces Probert, which, last week it was Jude King, I think he's got to have a pretty big night. And obviously Roman Miller offensively, defensively, he's going to have a big night. And then Coach mentioned it earlier, Drew Sherwood. He does a good job each and every week of shutting down the opposing team's best offensive player. I think offensively, I look for him to have a big night tonight.
So you got Drew Sherwood and Roman Miller, Jude King. Coach, do you have any key players for tonight's game?
Key player for tonight's game, you want to stop the run back is our defense. Our linebackers have got to make their read key. They like to run a lot of misdirection plays, pull the line each way. Our linebackers better make their read keys and better get them right, or Lamar be running all over us.
I'm going to go different than you guys. I'm going to say our DNs. They got to be able to wrong arm tonight and stop the play if they try to get outside on that wing power play. They ran that about 4 plays in a row against Monette to open the game with big old running back number 6, Taron Williams. Got to be able to wrong arm that tonight, so hopefully they can do that and shut down this Lamar running game. Captains looks like for Lamar, number 7, that is Carson Parker.
Number 9,
Aiden Welch. Number 14 also over there, that's Brody Gardner. I don't think they have another one. If they do,
I think he's sneaking in number 16 or number 18.
There's 16, that's Trent Torbeck. He is their former quarterback that they've had for quarterback for so many years. Now he's listed as a wide receiver, so don't be surprised if he might try a little trick or ratio for him down the road in this game. And for the Seneca Indians, number 54, Jace Renfro. Number 9, Brody Probert. Number 7, Roman Miller. Number 23, Hunter Haynes, as they make their way out there. Again, no Brody Probert tonight, no Kai Adams. They'll get the bye week next week. They'll be able to rest up, and hopefully they'll be ready to go in week 11. Yeah, maybe 12 if we get to that point. So,
yeah, you mentioned a little bit about the district. Seneca number 1, Cassville probably number 2, 3, 4, 5. Are kind of up for grabs here tonight, Seth. A lot going on. And then 7 is Reed Spring. So 3, 4, 5, 6, a lot going on to try and figure out who's going to be playing next week and where.
And Ben, you said that if Mount Vernon, if Hollister should win tonight, which they should. I think they have a Reed Spring game.
Yes. Yeah.
If Mount Vernon should lose, Hollister could jump then, and that means Aurora could potentially jump Mount Vernon. So Mount Vernon and Aurora could face off in the first round. That's who Seneca would be facing in the semifinals.
Yeah, like you said, if Hollister jumps Mount Vernon, it'll be 3. Mount Vernon could fall to 5 as Aurora has the head-to-head. There's a lot to figure out. If East Newton and Aurora are next to each other and there's somebody in between there, East Newton would jump Aurora thanks to that head-to-head. So there's a whole lot of situations that could go on. None of them affect Seneca, though.
Looks like Lamar's won the toss, and they'll probably be deferring to the second half. We'll end up. Nope, they didn't look like they deferred. They looked like they said they won the ball. So Lamar has won the toss. They will receive to start this ball game. And we are going to get ready to go here in just about a minute and 20 seconds. Your countdown to kickoff sponsors tonight, People's Bank of Seneca and Prater's Pharmacy. I apologize if my voice is a little scratchy tonight. Got a little bit of congestion going on, but we're going to have some fun up here at Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium as the regular season wraps up tonight. Seneca looking to conclude their perfect season against a defending Class 2 champion Lamar Tigers in just under 60 seconds here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network. It's going to be a fun game tonight, Ben.
Yeah, and it's a little bit different view for us this year well.
It is.
We're on the Seneca side of things tonight, a little bit closer to the field, get you a little bit more of a feel what it feels like to go on the road and get to maybe feel the hits a little bit more than we normally would.
I don't feel them up here. Coach might feel them a little bit more than us, but
I probably hear him a little better than you guys.
We might be able to hear him a little bit too. Adam Martin, one of the assistant coaches for Lamar, was on the Seneca staff for a number of years. His son out there, number 56 for Lamar. That is, number 50. Yeah, Logan Martin. Sorry, I read the wrong number there for a second. Logan Martin, 56. That is his son. So I'm sure he might know a few of the kids out there lining up across the way from him.
Should be a fun one, like you said. Seneca not really playing for anything. They clinched the Big 8 title last week. I guess the big thing is you're looking for your 25th straight Big 8 win over 3 seasons.
Mason Gasway got the ball teed up on his 40-yard line, going right to left. Seneca wearing their all-white uniforms. Lamar in their all-black uniforms. High low kick this time. It's going to bounce off the first guy and take a roll back. It's going to be fielded at the 24-yard line. And there's a room there for the return man. Mason Gasway going to slow him down enough, and then Hunter Haynes is going to pull him down from behind as he got through the first line of coverage and took off with it. The return man was number 20, Waylon Nolting, and sets up shot for Lamar on Seneca's 36-yard line.
And Seth, it's something that Coach Hilburn brought up. You mentioned the positives of the special teams last week, but, tonight, obviously, not a very great start for the Indians.
Shotgun formation for the quarterbacks. That's number 18, Clayton Powell.
Seneca going 4-3 defense here, bring up those
That's
outside lines.
5-2 monster look.
Yeah.
It's going to be Powell taking it right up the middle. He's going to be met immediately by the first man coming through. That's Jude King on the bottom of the pile with the big stop. They're going to give a sport of progress, a gain of 1, 2nd down and 9 to the 35.
Good job there by Jude to shoot the gap and only get a gain of 1. And like you said, it looks like you got 4 main linemen, and then your outside linebackers are creeping up already for Seneca. 5-6 man front here for the Indians.
They sent Jaden Moore in motion that time. He's playing the wing back. The other wing back is Taryn Williams. As they make their way up to the line of scrimmage, 2 receivers to the far side. 2 wing backs once again. Powell going to take it, runner at the middle. First man there is Brock Pendergraft. And it's going to be a gain of 2 on the play, up to about the 34-yard line.
Also looked like Renfro did a good job there of shooting the gap as well. They are moving Jace around a ton there on that inside, trying to find mismatches.
3rd down and 7 coming up for Lamar.
And this is sorry, go ahead, Coach.
Well, no, you would think that they would 2 plays up the middle and they can't go anywhere. You'd think they'd be looking outside.
And they might look to do that. Taryn Williams, the guy that had a bulk of their carries a year ago against the Indians, as most of their starters rested, did Lamar in Week 9. Now they're going to go with the balanced formation. 2 receivers, a receiver to each side, wing back to each side. And it's going to be a reverse to number 20, the guy that took the kickoff. Makes the first man miss. He's going to be tripped up just enough by Drew Sherwood. That was Nolting on the reverse play. And it's going to be a 1st down and 10. Ball placed at about the 24-yard line.
I think Pendergraft just missed a tackle there, Seth. They had him for a gain of maybe 2. That looked like they had that reverse pretty well read. You also had a linebacker miss an assignment there for Seneca, because once you got past Pendergraft, there's an open hole.
9-yard pickup for Nolting on his first carry. 2 receivers to the far side this time for Powell. Powell's going to take it, run to the left side. He's going to make the first man miss. First man there was Clay Davidson, the quarterback, coming in and playing a little bit. A gain of maybe 1 on the play to the 23. 2nd down to 9.
We talk about, Seth, Seneca did a good job making it 3rd and long there, but unfortunately that it's not really fancy wide receiver reverse, whatever you want to call it, just a couple missed assignments for Seneca, and it allows the drive to continue, and that's what we're talking about when it comes to ball control.
2 receivers to the far side again. Going to send Nolting in motion. It's going to be a backside play to number 22. That is Moore. Moore's going to get taken down the far sideline. Coming up to make the play, Drew Sherwood again at the 23-yard line. No gain on the play. 3rd down and 9.
Hunter Haynes did a good job there of shooting the gap as well for Seneca. Did a good job shooting it, forcing him to that edge. And Seneca had a whole bunch of defenders there.
They haven't given the ball to Taryn Williams yet.
You can call that 5-2 look you want to, monster, whatever. But you got Hunter Haynes sitting right in the middle of the formation. He's reading something and going after the ball.
Another third down and long here for Lamar. See if Seneca can stop him here.
Going to send Moore in motion. And it's going to be a passing play looking deep downfield as a receiver stumble. He's going to take off and runs into his own guy. He's going to be brought down. I think he's going to have enough for the first down. He was looking downfield for number 22. That's Moore. And they're going to say he got down to the 13-yard line. A pickup 10 on play. And it's first down and 10 at the 13.
That's one of those delay inside tunnel screens.
Seneca did a good job of defending it, but left too much up the middle. Allow an escape hatch for him in a running lane.
Two receivers to the far side once again for Powell. Looking over the defense. Now they're going to shift, go under center, split back formation behind Powell. Handoff's going to go to Moore. Moore's going to get stood up by Roman Miller, and he's trying to strip the ball from him. They're going to blow that one dead. They're going to say he got all the way to the 11-yard line, Coach. I don't know. Do you think he got that far?
I don't think he got that far. Maybe he's got to mark around the 12.
So they may have marked it back a yard. No, I think
they got it to 11.
11, yeah.
Second down and 8 as the handoff went to Moore.
And Seth, we talked about it earlier. You're getting them into these third and longs, but unfortunately they're finding ways to get first downs. And you talk about ball control, this drive already taken almost 5 minutes off the clock.
Two receivers, two wingbacks. Knowlton's going to go in motion. He's going to get bounced to the outside and brought down by Clay Davidson. The big stop, taking down the speedy Knowlton. Loss on the play back to the original line of scrimmage at the 13. Loss of 2. Third down and 10. Seneca looking to get off the field on this play.
Davidson just lines up on that end there, but he's standing up and he beats the tackle to the spot and is able to drag the the running back down. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, no, it's a two-down territory. But what he said, he's playing D end. He kept his outside shoulder clean and made the play perfect.
Third down and 10 coming up for Lamar. Two receivers to the near side of the field. Going to send Knowlton in motion once again. It's a high snap. Powell corrals it.
His knee is down.
They're going to blow it dead. A loss in the play all the way back to the 23-yard line. Ben, the officials heard you. Good job. I appreciate that help.
And that makes it fourth down and even longer here for Lamar. It's going to be fourth down and about 15?
That it is, Ben.
Yeah, we heard that very well, Ben, in our headsets.
I apologize.
Called it perfect.
The referee turned around, looked up at there and went, "You're right. You're right, Ben.
Yeah,
he's down."
You better look for screen. You better look for reverse. You better look for anything.
I was going to say, this is trickery here because they have to get to the 2, it looks like, maybe 3-yard line, and they're going to have to call the timeout here because the play clock was winding down on them.
All right, we'll step aside with them. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
And we welcome you back in here just under 6 minutes to go in this first quarter. Sponsors for tonight's game: Numac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, Prolube Maintenance Center, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Southwest Missouri Bank, Neoso Daily News, Doug's Body Works, Prairie Top Chiropractic, and Cedar Lane Farm and Garden. Fourth down and 15 coming up for Lamar.
This is where you can't get too far upfield, too, if you're those defensive ends, and give them a lane to step up and step into a pass.
Powell in shotgun formation, going to roll out to his left, looking downfield. He's going to dump it off. It's going to be caught on the far sideline. He's going to be into the end zone for the touchdown. Missed tackle on the far sideline, and the Tigers take it in on a pass to Knowlton on the simple out route.
And Seth, you look at it here, Seneca had a chance at it. I think it was Davidson had a chance to try and tip it, and then a couple missed tackles on a fourth down and long. That was 2 third-down conversions and a fourth-down conversion for Lamar to start the game.
18-yard pickup there puts Lamar on the board with 5:51 to go. Point after pending here as the kicker for Lamar is number 63, Chris Juarez. Seneca going to get a good push, but Juarez has got a good boot, and it's through the uprights. 5:51 to go in the first quarter. Seneca trailing 7-0 here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
Proudly supporting the Seneca Indians is Doug's Body Works. Owned and operated by Doug Scribner, they offer a 24-hour wrecker service and specialize in auto body and frame repair. Doug's Body Works is located at 1008 Oneida in Seneca and is proud to serve the local area. 417-776-8611. Go Indians!
And we welcome you back in here to Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium. Seneca trailing 7-0.
And Seth, you think about, I hate to reiterate some points, but 2 third down and longs they converted, and then a 4th down and 15, or 4th and 18, I should say.
And they're going to play the ball control game. 6:09 to go here in the, 6 minutes, 9 seconds off the clock in that first drive. As Logan Martin tees this one up back deep to receive. Blaze Graham and Hunter Haynes both stand on their own 15-yard line.
And Seth, that was only a 36-yard drive, too. That took him over 6 minutes.
Going to be a squib kick that's going to bounce high to Roman Miller. Is going to go to the left side. Makes the first guy miss. Bounces out of it to the far side at the 45. Gets a block from Hunter Haynes. Goes off his block down the sideline. He goes to the 20, the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Seneca Indians. Touchdown Roman Miller as he returns the kickoff back 64 yards for the score.
He got caught in the scrum there, and then nobody decided to wrap up. Hunter Haynes does a good job of catching a block, and that's the second week in a row Seneca special teams have brought one back to the house.
Good job by Miller just to keep his feet going. And the Indians have a chance to tie this game up. The point after pending. Magnus Gasway on to attempt this for the Indians. Good snap, good hold, kick is up and through. So Roman Miller gets done running that kickoff return, does the deep snapping duties, and Seneca's tied this game up after trailing for 13 seconds. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
A proud backer of the Seneca Indians is Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca. Located at 1101 Cherokee, they are honored to serve the area with traditional service options including church and graveside services. They also have prearranged funeral plans. For more information, the phone number for Funeral Director Mike Steele at Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca is 417-776-2251 or online campbell-biddlecomefh.com.
And we welcome you back in here to Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium.
Stay tuned after tonight's game for today's player of the game, sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. For more information on chiropractic services by Dr. Seth Wilson, call 417-776-4556. Sponsor of Seneca Indian Athletics. And Seth, 13 seconds trailing there, but the big thing, Lamar ball control, only a 36-yard drive that took 6 minutes and 9 seconds. Seneca had 3 different opportunities to get off the field, 3rd down and 9, 3rd down and 7, and 4th and 18, and couldn't do it.
Got to be able to shut down their defense or offense on 3rd down. 3rd down efficiency. Gasway's going to give a high overhand kick that's Nolting's going to field at the 25-yard line. Sees Ryder Owens. Ryder Owens going to wrap him up, and then the rest of the team comes and finishes him up at the 37-yard line, where Lamar will take over at that spot.
Stay tuned after tonight's game for the Final Drive Scoreboard Show, sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Also, check out our live scoreboard during the game. Go to kneo.org/sports. Click on the scoreboard link or download the KNEO iPhone or Android phone apps to get the latest scores from games around the area as they're happening. Like we said, lots of interesting matchups here tonight. Joplin, Webb City, a big one happening in Joplin. Webb City with a win probably clinches the 3 seed in their district. With a loss, falls to 4.
2 receivers the far side for Powell. He's in shotgun formation. It's going to be a handoff to Moore. Moore's trying to get to the edge. He's going to be brought down immediately. Come up and to make the play for the Indians is Jude King. Jude King getting through the line, and Hunter Haynes helping out as well. No gain, 2nd down and 10.
Seneca does a good job these first couple downs, Seth. It's when things kind of, I don't want to say fall apart, but those 3rd down and long plays where, you have to defend for a little bit longer, that Seneca's had some issues. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, we bailed them out. You talking about an old coach. We're bailing them out because we're not disciplined enough on the long plays here.
5-man defensive front for the Indians. Receiver seat side for Powell. He's going to run it right the middle. He's going to run into a host of Indians, and he's just going to try to fall forward. Forward progress is going to have him to about the 41.
I think that was Crane, Seth. That it was Crane and Davidson on the outside crashing in. They were able to get him.
3-yard pickup for Powell.
Once again, 3rd down and long here.
Here's where discipline comes into play. You've got to make your reads. You've got to be there to match your spot. You've got them in the spot where you want them. Make the play.
Receivers each side, wingbacks each side. Powell in shotgun formation. Going to send Nolting in motion. It's going to be Powell taking it to the left side, trying to dance around. He's got ahead of steam. He's going to have a first down again as the spinner play works out for him. A double fake, and Powell just takes it to the left side off tackle. Pick up of 8 on the play, first down and 10.
It's nothing fancy.
They've got him stopped, and they couldn't get a hold of him, wrap him up.
He's getting behind those offensive linemen, just kind of riding their back, and then Seneca's not able to get a force in front of him to stop him. Balanced look again for the Tigers. Inside handoff to Williams. Williams going to try to bounce the outside, slips and falls. Jace Whitfield may have gotten away with one there as his momentum took him in and landed on top of Williams. His first carry of the night gets him 2 yards.
Well, there, Seth, Davidson, you could see it here pretty easily. He kind of crashed in maybe a little bit more than he should have, and Seneca catches a little bit of a break that he didn't try and bust it outside a little bit more.
Haven't given the ball to him. That's the first time he's carried the ball tonight. He was their main ball carrier. They've been trying to give it to Nolting and more to the outside edge. Balanced look again. Going to send a man in motion. And it's going to be Powell running it to the right side. He's going to be brought down immediately. Good job by the Seneca defender coming up to make the play. Jude King with the read. A loss of 1 on the play. Big stop for the senior linebacker filling in.
Once again, though, Seth, it's going to be something we bring up all night long. 3rd down and long. Can you find a way to get off the field?
That play there wasn't nothing more than what they ran for the last 3rd down play.
Just be at the right place at the right time.
Would you make the right keys and be in the right spot and do your job?
Powell in shotgun formation going to a 2-quarterback system with Williams in the backfield. 2 wingbacks as well. Powell's going to go in motion out to the far side. It's a high snap. Williams going to take it. He's going to get wrapped up and still going now as Miller had him in the backfield, and then Williams is for momentum. They're going to have to blow this one dead. There's nobody's going anywhere.
Miller and Jude King.
That play was going on for 3 seconds. They had him stood up, and there was no momentum going. They finally blow it dead at the 47.
Miller and Jude King both had shots at him in the backfield and couldn't wrap up, but it is still 4th down and long here. Looks like about 4th and 6, maybe 4th and 5. I say 4th and 6.
I mean, he was stopped at the 47-yard line, and he wasn't going anywhere. 4th down and 6, 1:45 to go here in the opening quarter play. Looks like Lamar maybe in their short punt situation, rugby-style punter with Torbeck. He is a quarterback. Got to pay attention to him. Seneca is playing punt safe. Only 3 defensive linemen. Torbeck's going to look to run, and he's going to take off and run. Seneca defense coming up. They're not going to get to him. Once again, Lamar just playing ball control, and Seneca is not being disciplined on 3rd and 4th down. Got to get that taken care of. You kind of saw that happening in slow motion, and Torbeck saw opening. He took it down to the 34.
Yeah, Seneca crashed that right side. Nobody on that left side, and they had plenty of running room to get that first down, and they have controlled the clock here in the first quarter. Seneca only had the ball for 13 seconds, and that was on a kick return for a touchdown.
1:18 to go.
Yes. You see, I think that's Silas Ball checking in for Brant Laughlin.
Wishbone formation behind Powell. And it's going to be Moore taking it to the left side, off the left guard, between left guard and left tackle. Gets up to the 30-yard line. Pick up a 4 in the play, 2nd down and 6.
Keep up on the latest Seneca broadcast ball game schedule. Be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/KNEO Radio. Follow us on X at KNEO 917 Sports. Seneca off next week, and we'll begin their playoffs in Week 11. Probably one more snap here in the first quarter where Lamar's had the ball the entire quarter.
Powell under center, wishbone formation. Handoff's going to go to Williams. He's going to get stood up the line of scrimmage and then just fight for extra yardage. Once again, the whistle is not being blown, and the forward progress is going to have enough for the first down to the 24. Let's see where they mark it. They're saying first down.
See if they bother snapping it here. The clock is stopped, and now it's going. They don't have to snap the ball if Lamar doesn't want to begin the second quarter.
And Coach B. Short talking to his guys, and they're still not on the ball yet. Looks like they may be going to the half, or the quarter, excuse me. Seneca has not ran a play of offense, but the game is tied 7-7 after one quarter play. We'll have the second quarter for you right after.
Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca is the place to go before or after the game. Check out their amazing menu of fan-favorite blizzards like Oreo or cookie dough. Happy hour is daily from 2 to 5 p.m. That means everything you can drink from a straw is half price, excluding premium shakes. Don't forget to grab one of their $7 meal deals or their signature stack burgers and top it off with a Misty Slush. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca, located at 308 Washington, open daily from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Proud to support the Seneca Indians.
Mid-America Specialty Markets of Seneca is a supporter of the Seneca Indians, and they're proud to bring you today's game. They provide insurance services for the four-state area, including home, auto, life, and agribusiness. Located at 910 Washington Avenue in Seneca, they are licensed in Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Kansas. Learn more today at midminsurance.com or call 417-451-9177. Mid-America Specialty Markets. Protecting your business and family is our specialty.
And we welcome you back in here to the second quarter action. Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium in Lamar, Missouri, all knotted up at 7 apiece as Seneca has not ran an offensive play yet. As we said right before break, Lamar continues to find ways to take control of the ball in third and long situations, fourth and long situations. Now they primarily go into a wishbone formation on this drive after converting on the fake punt with Torbeck. Powell under center, going to hand it off to the fullback. That's his big man up the middle, number 11, Luis Salas.
I think Pendergraft had the tackle there. He was the first Seneca defender on the ball.
Progress going to be marked to the 22-yard line, so just a pickup of 2 on the play. Second down and 8.
Just a straight dive play there, Seth. Just give it to the fullback, see what he can get.
Second down and 8 coming up for Lamar. Probably going to go with the same formation once again. Can't be lulled to sleep here.
It's a power I formation.
It's a wishbone formation, double tight. Handoff's going to go to the second man through. That's going to be Moore. Moore's got a head of steam. Finally going to be wrapped up and taken down by Silas Ball. Not before Moore can get to the 17. Third down and 3. Just a lot of ball control for Lamar in this first half. Wishbone formation once again behind Powell. Double tight formation. Handoff's going to go to Williams to the right side. Busts out of one tackle, and he's going to be down to the 11-yard line. A pickup of 6 on the play, first down and 10. Williams is so tall and so lanky, but he's strong, though, when he runs, and he's hard to bring down with those long legs.
Nothing fancy going on here, Seth. They're just grounding and pounding. I know, Seneca had one chance to get off the field on that fourth down, and the fake punt is what did them in. And we could see that one coming, too, that rugby style. Seneca got caught a little bit, even though they were playing punt safe.
Handoff's going to go to Williams again. Got plenty of blockers in front of him. And the forward progress is going to take him down to about the 3-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play. 8 on the play. Second down and 2.
They can't get a first down at that 1-yard line. See if Seneca can bow up here and find a way to stop them.
Every single week we've talked about how Seneca's been outsized in the line. There's no difference this week with Lamar's offensive line, much bigger than Seneca's defensive front. Seneca just got to find a way to get a push right now and keep him out of the end zone. Wishbone formation behind Powell once again. Going to send a man in motion. That's Salas. Going to turn out, hand off the first man through. He's going to be brought down. Ball's out.
Oh, they whistled it dead. They said he was down. They whistled at first.
They blowed the whistle quickly that time as he was stood up. The ball came out.
They're going to talk about it.
Yeah, they blew that whistle awful quick. We've had guys stood up other times, and they've not blown the whistle. They're getting together to discuss this on the 4-yard line. And Seneca came away with the ball, so if they decide it is, they're going to say it's third down. They're going to say it's third down.
They did lose a yard, though. Third down and 3 here. And both teams ready to go here quickly as Seneca trying to jump the line.
Williams, he's going to be
He's near the first down marker.
I think he's got the first down at the 1.
They needed the 1 for a first down, and they got it.
So, pick up of 3 there for Williams. First and goal for Lamar. 9:22 to go here in this first half of play. Wishbone formation. Powell under center. Going to hand it off to Williams once again. He's going to be into the end zone. No signal yet, but he's into the end zone for a touchdown. So Seneca does not catch the break there as the ball was put on the ground clearly before the runner was down. And other times we're asking for a whistle earlier. We couldn't get the whistle. Now then we get the whistle and the ball was on the ground. They blow it a little bit too early. Either way, Seneca's got to be able to recover. Coming on to the attempt to point after for Lamar, number 63, Chris Juarez.
Well, Seth, they never should have been in that situation. They had a 4th down play that they were undisciplined on.
Well, 3rd down plays, too, that they've been undisciplined on tonight as well. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and it is good. 9:07 to go here in the first half. Seneca trailing 14-7. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
A sponsor of community broadcasting on KNEO, Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho, serving the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer personal banking services, including checking and savings accounts, home loans, and online banking. Learn more online at smbonline.com. Southwest Missouri Bank, an equal housing lender. Member FDIC, where their slogan is Southwest Missouri Bank. We can do that.
And we welcome you back in here, Lamar, Missouri. 9:07 to go. Sponsors for tonight's game: People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Seneca School District, Christian Healthcare Ministries, Mid-America Specialty Markets, Missouri Farm Bureau Agent Josh Dotson, Gas and Snack, Hoddle Springs Church of Christ, and Access Family Care. Trent Torbeck doing the kicking duties this time. It's no longer Martin. So, I don't think that has really anything to do with the return being taken back by Miller. Maybe try to go a little trickeration once again.
Now they may be trying an onside kick here.
High and overhead kick that Blaze Graham's going to let it bounce. He's got to come up and get it because he's going to field at the 21-yard line. Makes one man miss before being forced out to 29. Just able to get that one just a little bit before the kickoff guy from Lamar.
Community Bank and Trust, proudly serving our customers for the past 140 years. You may visit their branch at 1102 South Cherokee for all your banking needs. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, proud sponsors of the Seneca Indians.
Seneca's first offensive play coming in this game with 9:05 to go in the first half. Brant Laughlin in at quarterback, Roman Miller to his right, trips to the far side. 4-man front for Lamar. Handoff's going to go to Miller, dances around, gets his legs taken out from underneath him at the 33-yard line. Pick up a 3 from Miller on his first carry.
If you're Seneca, you just got to find a way to answer offensively the way this game is going. You know you're not going to get a ton of possession, so you need to be able to score.
Sponsors for tonight's game: Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home, the Big Nickel, Missouri Southern State University, Marine Center Incorporated, and Community Bank and Trust. Trips to the far side this time for Laughlin. Jude King in tight on the near side. He's going to throw the screen pass out to Hunter Haynes. He hauls it in, makes the first man miss, still on his feet, and he's going to be brought down across the 40-yard line. Should be enough for an Indian first down. I say another. That's the first down, first down of the night.
That was a good job there by Hunter Haynes of catching it. A little bit of a high throw, and then a good block on that far side. I'm not sure who was on that far side, Seth, if it was Sherwood or not, but somebody had a good block over there on that far edge.
Balanced formation this time for the Indians as Silas Ball checks in at the H-back.
Stone Euler in as well, and an off false start on Seneca.
Lamar showing basically 6 or 7 guys on the front line. First penalty comes into the game. It's a false start against the Indians. That's going to march them back 5 yards. First down and 15, ball at their own 35.
So now Ball and Euler check out, and Graham and Haynes check back in.
Yeah, Gentry Barnes got a little anxious that time.
So they start out with a 4, and they basically walked up 3 other linebackers and put their secondary guys in at linebacker.
Oh, they're doing everything they can to make us throw the football.
Seneca may have to call a timeout because they're just getting out of the huddle with 7 seconds to go.
5 seconds left. Everybody's set. 4-man front. Brant Laughlin wasn't even looking for the ball. He's going to get a block from Roman Miller. He's going to be up to about the 38-yard line, so just a pickup of 3 on the play. It's going to make it 2nd down and 12. Seneca looking a little out of sync right now, but give them time. It's only their 3rd play on offense of the night.
I was going to say they haven't had the ball to really get things rolling here. Hard to believe halfway through the 2nd quarter this is your first possession.
Trips to the far side for Laughlin. Going to send Hunter Haynes in motion. It's Haynes. The handoff's going to go to Haynes. Haynes has got all kinds of green. Got one guy to beat. Gives a stiff arm at the 40, the 35, 30, 20. Slips and falls at the 15, trying to make a cut back on Torbeck. We saw him do that in pregame as he went out for his first passing route, and he slipped and fell. He slipped and fell right there, trying to make a cut back at the 14.
What an excellent ball fake there. They had me fooled on the play as well. And Seneca, all kinds of green there on the jet sweep. And unfortunately, when Haynes tried to cut back against the green, it's not natural grass, but that turf is a little bit slippery.
Trips to the far side for Brant Laughlin.
Trying to see if they would jump. Lamar did jump, but not into the neutral zone.
It's going to be a screen pass out to Blaze Graham. Graham's got one guy to beat, gives a stiff arm at the 5. Touchdown, Seneca Indians. Touchdown, Blaze Graham, as he hauls it in and takes it in from 14 yards out on the screen pass.
What an excellent job by Drew Sherwood on that far side. He actually got 2 of the defenders there. 2 blocks for the price of 1, and that is what sprung them into the end zone.
Point after try pending here as Roman Miller is a snapper. Brant Laughlin, the holder, Magnus Gasaway to attempt the point after. Good snap. Kick is up, and it is good. 6:42 to go here in the first half, all tied up at 14.
Huddle Springs Church of Christ is bringing you today's ball game. They're a family-friendly church located just a few miles outside Seneca at 19306 Huddle Springs Road. With Sunday morning and evening worship services as well as midweek services on Wednesdays, check out HuddleSpringsChurchOfChrist.org for more information about all the classes and fellowships they offer throughout the week. Huddle Springs Church of Christ, where they say, "We want to go to heaven with you."
Welcome you back in here to Marlin, Missouri. Game all tied up at 14. Seneca making quick work on their first possession of the night, taking the ball in less than 3 minutes, marching 70 yards, capped off by the Laughlin to Graham screen pass. And Graham gave a stiff arm and did the rest of the work. Big play in that drive was the jet sweep to Hunter Haynes, and he would have been in the end zone had he not slipped and fell.
Yeah, Sherwood did a good job of getting 2 blocks on that play as well. He took out the first 2 defenders for Lamar that allowed Blaze Graham to have a chance at that stiff arm.
Magnus Gasaway going to kick this one off a high and over and kick that. It's going to go back to the second row to Moore at the 25-yard line. Makes the first man miss. He's going to be upended. Penalty flag comes flying in at the 31-yard line.
I have a feeling there's going to be a holding call on the play, which if it's from the 31, it would go back to the 21. If they're taking it from the 35, it'd be the 25. It is a hold, so it just depends on where you're taking it from.
I'd like them to take it from the 10-yard line, put half the distance to the goal, but unfortunately you can't do that.
So it is from the 31, so it's 1st and 10 at the 21. Everyone at the Neosho Daily News wish the Seneca Indians good luck. Let's go get that win.
A little windy out here tonight, Ben.
Yeah, we're out in the elements for once, Seth. You know, Coach probably doesn't have any sympathy for us.
Bless your little heart.
My fingers are numb. They're freezing. Handoff's going to go to Williams to the right side on a simple power play. He's got Green. He's taking defenders with him, bringing him down, though, holding on. Good job there by the Seneca defender. That is Jace Renfro coming from that D-tackle position, but not before Williams can get up to the 32, a pickup of 11 on the play.
I don't know. They like their right side of their offensive line.
They do.
Something's going on there, boys. We need to make an adjustments here.
That's all they've done is run to that right side.
Yeah, slant that way.
Seneca flipping their defensive front, 5-man front. Bringing a tight end to that far side as well. Single handoff's going to go to Williams to the right side again. Makes a cutback, spin move at the 35, down at the 38-yard line. Bringing him down for the Indians was Landon Hartgee at the 37.
We wrong-armed the pulling guard that time, but you know what? There wasn't no linebacker scraping over the top.
Hartgee trailing to make that play 5 yards downfield. That's tough for a defensive line to do when the play goes outside the tackles. One receiver to each side. For Powell is going to send a man in motion, and it's going to be a handoff to Williams to the right side again. He's going to be wrapped up and brought down just shy of the line to gain at the 40-yard line. He needs to get to the 41. Going to make it 3rd down and 1. Well, I think he's got to get to the 42, so 3rd down and 2, excuse me. Just a pickup of 3 on the play. 5:07 to go here in the first half. Sponsors for tonight's Game 4 State Sports Report: Dairy Queen of Seneca, Community Bank and Trust, Neosho Chamber of Commerce, and Amory Roofing and Construction. As Silas Ball checks on late for Brant Laughlin. 5-3 look for the Indians. Wishbone formation behind Powell. Handoff's going to go to the big fullback, and he's just going to get a big push going forward. And he's going to be brought down across midfield to the 48. 12-yard pickup on a 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, they just go behind that offensive line, and he just kept chugging his legs for a 1st down.
Well, they're going to say he got brought down to 49. I mean, all they're doing, their linemen are just standing up and just getting a big push.
Seneca usually does a good job of second half adjustments, making adjustments in games by Coach Crane. We'll see what kind of adjustments they make here.
Wishbone formation behind Powell once again. Handoff's going to go to Moore. He's going to dance around and be brought down just at the 47-yard line. Pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8.
Nothing fancy that Lamar is doing. Can you find a way to get a stop?
Brant Laughlin checks back in. Silas Ball gets a breather on the sideline. Different personnel this time for Lamar as they go to 2 receivers to the near side with Torbeck and Knowlting.
You got to think a jet sweep, some kind of sweep is coming. There's your.
It's going to be Powell taking it to the right side. He's going to be tripped up and brought down, maybe a gain of 1 or 2 on the play to the 45-yard line. They're going to call it pickup of 2, 3rd down and 6.
See if Seneca can find a way to make it 4th down and make them at least think about punting. This may be 2-down territory regardless on the plus side of the 50.
Receiver to the near side, that's Torbeck. As they have 2 quarterback system, Knowlting is now going to come out here to the near side. 2 wingbacks for Powell. And it's going to be Powell running it to the right side. Clay Davidson's going to give chase to him. Powell's trying to get upfield. He's going to be brought down as Aiden Crane gets to him, as well as, I believe, that is Jace Renfro for a loss in the play back to the 48-yard line. Big play by those guys as Powell was looking to roll out and drop it downfield.
Yeah, good job there. Davidson, first one there. And now if you're Seneca, you have to watch that rugby-style punt because if he sees a lane, he's going to take it and he's going to run with it. And we'll see if they actually go for it or not. But Seneca, you got to stay disciplined here. This is what cost them the second drive of the game. And now he's going to boot it.
That's going to be a high and over and kick that takes a Seneca roll, bounces backwards to the 15-yard line with 2:16 to go. Seneca's got enough time to march downfield and score if they want to before the half.
And Seneca will get the ball to start the second half as well. You have to think, Seth, you're going into your 2-minute drill here, and then you do get the ball because Lamar did take the ball to start the game, so you really could get a touch, try and get those 2 scores on either end of the half and really try and take control of this game.
Trips to the near side, Jude King, Hunter Haynes, Blaze Graham. 1 receiver to the far side, that's Drew Sherwood. 4-man front for Lamar. Handoff's going to go to Miller. Going to bounce to the right side. He's going to get stood up and brought down. Maybe no gain on the play, gain of 1. As he had 4 defenders right on top of him.
Yeah, they gave him a no gain, Seth. He's still at the 15-yard line. He tried to bounce it out, but no room.
Seneca does have all 3 timeouts, Lamar with 2, so it'll be interesting to see, depending on what happens here, if Lamar tries to take a timeout to see if they can try and score and take a lead going into half.
Receivers each side as Silas ball checks back in at the H-back. It's going to be play action looking downfield. He's got Jude King wide open. He's got Blaze Graham open. Graham goes up and makes the catch. A spectacular catch. He also had Jude King released free on the vertical. 2 verticals to the 41-yard line.
Like you mentioned, Seth, Jude King wide open, but it was a one-man look on the play. If he had gotten Jude King, that would have been 6. But an excellent play by Blaze Graham, as Seneca is now out of the shadow of their own end zone.
Ball at the 41-yard line, 1:24 to go in the first half. 2 receivers. Now Hunter Haynes is going to switch. Stonewall is going to switch and be on the near side. Laughlin going to throw it out to Haynes. Haynes has got a blocker in front of him, and he's going to make the first man miss, and he's going to get out of bounds. We're going to say he stepped out of bounds, but he got enough for the first down to the 47.
Just a simple tunnel screen there. You get Pendergraft, I think, out in front of him. You wish Pendergraft was able to get a little bit more of a block there, because he would have had a bigger gain, but still enough for the first down. And Seneca, all of a sudden, with 1:11 to go in the half, is on the plus side of the 50.
They're going to say he got to the 46, so a 12-yard pickup there, 13-yard pickup there for the Indians offense on a simple screen play.
Seneca still has all 3 timeouts as well to work with, so the whole field is open.
Trips to the near side for Laughlin. Laughlin going to drop back to pass. It's going to be a quarterback sack as Laughlin's trying to get out of it. And he's just going to have to go down. There's got to be a penalty flag. They come flying in on top of his head late. Ball's back to the 49-yard line, and Seneca is going to call a timeout here. We'll step aside with 58 seconds to go in the first half. We'll be back right after this.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is, better health, better you.
And we're welcoming you back here. Just under a minute to go in the first half. Sponsors for today's game: Mid-America Specialty Markets, Missouri Farm Bureau agent Josh Dotson, Gas and Snack, Huddle Springs Church of Christ, Access Family Care, Fort State Sports Report, Dairy Queen of Seneca, First Community Bank, Neosho Chamber of Commerce, and Amory Roofing and Construction. Seneca looking at a second down and 15 following the sack as Laughlin was looking for a quarterback draw, but there was nowhere for him to go, and he was fighting for extra yardage. Ended up actually losing 5 yards. 2 receivers, 3 receivers to the far side for the Indians.
Watch Jude King again, potentially, for Seneca.
Graham's going to go in motion. They're looking to throw the arrow route, and Laughlin's just going to have to take off and run that one. Well played there by number 10, Brady Reeves, the freshman, sticking on top of Blaze Graham because he went in jet motion, and it's a loss back to the 47.
Lamar is not calling a timeout here, so if you're Seneca, you can wind this one down to about 12 seconds before you have to snap the football.
Trips to the far side for the Indians. And Coach Hilburn's going to call a timeout. Doesn't like what he sees as Clay Davidson checked in for quarterback. We'll step aside for 30 seconds.
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
And we welcome you back here. 3rd down and 17 coming up for the Indians. Under 30 seconds to go here in the first half. Do you look for that drag route, underneath drag route?
I look for Jude King because he was so wide open last time.
The play of that one, he came off the line of scrimmage. That's why he came untouched.
I still look for Jude because they're not expecting him to.
Roman Miller going to go in motion. It's going to be a screen pass out to him. Miller's got blockers in front of him. He's down to the 35, the 30. Gives a stiff arm. He's going to fall forward to about the 25-yard line. Seneca has 1 timeout left.
I think he stepped out of bounds, Seth, so it is a first down, and I think he's out of bounds as well, and I wonder if there's a sideline warning.
Is there a flag
or is
over
there?
there?
Oh, there's a flag at the 39. So it must be a block in the back or a holding call on Drew Sherwood because he was the only one out there. So it's 3rd down and long still here for Seneca.
Even though he started the block in front of him, his ball's at the 48-yard line, so still the play will give him 5 yards. So it's still 3rd down and 12. Davidson going to drop back to pass. Looking downfield, that ball's going to sail over the head of Drew Sherwood, so it's going to be 4th down and 12.
If you're Seneca, do you go for it here on 4th down? And it looks like the answer to that question is yes. Because Lamar's having a hard time getting anything going other than the running game. Seneca may call a timeout, too, because they're sitting there and they're just getting the play in with 15 seconds to go.
And they got plenty of time. They'll break the huddle quickly here.
Hunter Haynes checks out. I think Seneca's going to have to burn their last timeout here. And there it is.
Timeout on the field. We'll step aside 16 seconds to go here in the first half. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Forbes asked, and the people answered. Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance is one of America's best insurance companies. Forbes recognizes what our customers have known for generations. We are committed to protecting families and the lives they built. For auto, home, life, and business protection, call Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We've got Missouri covered.
I am Josh Dodson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
16 seconds to go here in the first half. Seneca and Lamar all knotted up at 14 apiece. Ball at the 48-yard line. Seneca looking at a 4th down and 12 situation. Seneca had a big play to Roman Miller, would have set up shop inside the 30-yard line, but they called a block in the back. I thought Sherwood
I think they called holding.
Okay.
But it didn't look like holding. I mean, we're on the opposite side, so it's hard to tell.
I wasn't paying attention.
But that's the only thing, because Sherwood was the only one over there, so it was something on Drew Sherwood.
Davidson going to look to pass, throwing the quick hitter now to Drew Sherwood's a hook and ladder. Roman Miller's got enough for the first down and gets out of bounds at the.
They're going to call it. It's right at the first down marker. Is it a first down? It is a first down with 11 seconds left, and he did step out of bounds on the hook and ladder, so the clock should not start until the snap the ball. Nice play there by Seneca. Nice design. Gets it to Sherwood, and he pitches it back to Miller, who had a head full of steam.
Trips to the near side this time for Davidson. Davidson's going to drop back to pass. He's going to throw the out route to Blaze Graham. Incomplete. 6 seconds to go.
So you're looking at potentially 2 plays here. You need a first down. If you go quick, first down, slide, spike it. Otherwise, it's 1 play to the end zone.
I'm going to say, with even a first down, it's going to take you 5 seconds to get that first down. You got to make sure you're out of bounds with 1 second to go. That's going to be hard to do.
So you may just see them throw the ball into the end zone here. And Davidson must have the better arm because he's been the one in.
2nd down and 10 for the Indians. Lamar's going to call a timeout. We'll step aside with him. 6 seconds to go here in the first half. We'll be back right after this.
Americans have a big healthcare problem. Over 100 million citizens carry medical debt while spending on overpriced and complicated health insurance. As Christians, we don't have to pay for a broken system. Christian Healthcare Ministries is a faith-based alternative to health insurance at half the cost. Plus, you can enroll at any time. Stand up to insurance and join CHM today.
And we welcome you back here. 6 seconds to go before halftime. Seneca looking at a 2nd down and 10.
But like you said, Seth, maybe 1 play. You got trips to that far side, hook and ladder. You got Blaze Graham all alone on this near side. Do you go jump ball over here?
Double tight formation, receivers to each side for Seneca. Play action pass. Looking deep downfield. Roman Miller's going downfield, and he's going to get tripped up. And there's no penalty flag.
There's 1 second
left, but Roman Miller got tripped. I think they're just going to say his feet got tangled up, and he's kind of just throwing the ball to a spot. Got to be careful about doing that. It's 3rd down and 10.
Somehow that play only took 5 seconds.
Felt like it took a lot longer than that. It should have been the end of the half. 3rd down and 10. Seneca 1 more shot to try to punch it in before halftime.
Unless for some reason there's a flag.
That is true. Empty set for Clay Davidson. One safety over the top. Davidson got plenty of time. He's going to air it out. He's got Drew Sherwood to the near sideline, and it's going to be caught. Penalty flag right there.
It was incomplete, but there is a flag. I think they're going to call it on Lamar, which then you're potentially in long field goal range.
It's a lot to ask, though, for your freshman kicker to come in and give probably ball would be down to the 25-yard line.
So you're looking at about a 40, 45-yard field goal if you do that. But I think Seneca is just going to go for, and that was one-on-one coverage. So you're at the 21. Yeah, so, I mean, that'd be a 40-something yard field goal if you went field goal. And they're just going to see if they can get a touchdown here as Blaze Graham checks in for Seneca. As the end of this half, Seth, has lasted about as long as the entire second quarter.
That's true. It has. Trips to the near side, one receiver to the far side. That's Jude King. One safety deep stand at the 5-yard line. Davidson got time. He's going to haul this one out. And Blaze Graham's going to haul it in, but it's going to be shy of the goal line at the 4-yard line. That's going to do it for the first half, all tied up at 14 here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
I'm Bryce Johnson with this Unpacking It Sports and Faith Minute. When describing the passion with which they play, many athletes comment that they are hungry to win. And as sports fans, we admire those athletes who demonstrate that kind of hunger for victory during competition. But as followers of Jesus, we need to ask ourselves, how hungry are we? Are we driven to know God, follow Him, and serve Him? Do we crave to have a deeper understanding of His Word and to live a life of obedience? Jesus tells us, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Our attitude should always be one of passionately pursuing after God so that we can become more like Him. Just like in sports, the greater the hunger that we have, the better the results. Today, let's be encouraged to hunger and thirst after God and His righteousness and be motivated to do what it takes to become more and more like Him. I'm Bryce Johnson, and you can unpack that. For more, go to unpackingit.com.
Welcome to the KNEO Sports Network Halftime Show. Once again, here's Ben Walcott.
Welcome back to Lamar, Missouri, as we're at the half, and the halftime show is brought to you by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Coming up at the half, I'll talk with Seneca girls golf coach Drew Schulte as part of our Indians Minute, and we'll have an interview with a Freeman trainer as part of our Freeman Sports Health Minute. You're listening and watching to Seneca Indian football here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is, better health, better you.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
The Indians Minute is sponsored by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Josh Dodson. His office is located at 809 South Neosho Boulevard in Neosho, Missouri.
Welcome to today's edition of the Indians Minute here on KNEO. I'm Ben Walcott. Today we're joined by the girls golf coach, Drew Schulte. And Drew, last time I talked to you, you guys were getting ready for kind of that Big 8 tournament as well as the district tournament. How do you feel like your girls did at the Big 8 tournament?
I think we represented it very well. Maddie Allman and Ellie Olson, part of the all-conference team. They played really well, and I couldn't be more proud of them doing that. You know, that was, for Ellie Olson, that was her second time making all-conference, and Maddie Allman's first time. I remember she was under the weather last year. Otherwise, this would have been her second year making it.
Yeah.
I don't. She's that good enough. She would have made that last year, but you know what? She did this year, and proud of them both.
Yeah, definitely exciting for them to make it to the all-conference team. That's obviously a pretty big accomplishment for both of them. And then they were able to go to the district tournament, and Maddie Ullman was able to make it to the state tournament. Unfortunately, Ellie Olson finished one stroke away from getting to that state tournament, but you have to be pretty proud of how they both presented at Seneca.
Yes, both those two girls' goals was to make it to state. Of course, Maddie made it. This was her second time making it to state, and I felt so bad for Ellie, being one stroke behind. She played well all year. And then to come down, losing it by one stroke, I mean, it was devastating. I was upset, and I know she was upset as well. But you know what? She had a great career at Seneca High School. Both of them did, and Ellie played some of her best golf this year. It sucks, but that's golf. Sometimes you don't have all your good stuff on days, but like I said, I'm very proud of them both, and I wish them, but them being seniors, I wish them nothing but success.
Obviously we've talked about those two a lot. What are you kind of hoping that they can take from this year and bring to the rest of their life? Obviously you're hoping that they continue to love golf and play golf, but maybe take into other parts of their life as well.
Well, I give them senior letters every year, and I'm a basketball coach, first and foremost, and, I always thought basketball was life, but, kind of how golf is, golf is so challenging, and, they can kind of relate that to life. It's almost, golf is almost more like life. It's just like, you're cruising along, and then boom, something happens. How are you going to adapt? How are you going to change? What are you going to do different? And have a couple bad holes, a couple bad days. You just got to pick yourself, and you got to keep moving on. But hopefully those girls take and learn a lot from adversity with golf. Adversity with life, is almost no different. So I know those two are going to be very successful. I see them powered through some tough holes, some tough days, and I know they're going to be successful.
And obviously those two are the ones we've talked about the most, but I'm sure there are some other golfers in the wings for you that you're hoping to be able to do some things with in the off season.
Yes, we got 4 girls coming back, and they're all freshmen, so they have plenty of room to improve. I love it that they got to do most of everything this year, and so next year they kind of know what to expect, where their starting point is, and just continue to improve over the summer. Golf's a great game. It's outside. It's a life sport, something they can do forever. So, hopefully they have a little bit of fun with it as well, too.
And obviously, golf is one of those ones. It's not quite year-round here in the southwest Missouri area, but it's one of those ones that you can probably play 8 or 9 months out of the year. So I'm sure you're hoping they can get to the golf course and do it on their own, and they don't need a coach to go play 9 or 18 holes, while they're in the off-season.
That's correct.
Like you said, definitely exciting. Obviously, as you are at the end of the season here, I don't know if said you have 4 girls coming back. Is there any chance of any 8th graders coming up to join the crew to try and get you up to those, 6, 7 varsity players that you're hoping to have?
I think so. I just got to find them. We're trying to do a little bit more of the golf and our youth girls. Trying to get them more involved. It's just going to come down to, who wants to do it. Because, most of them have never played golf before, except for those who kind of live next to a golf course. So I'm sure there is, and we're going to find them.
Definitely exciting for you, and I know you're kind of turning your mind towards basketball season. Basketball season begins on November 3rd for you, and then obviously tip-off against Neosho on the 24th. But, Drew, we thank you for taking a couple of minutes today here on the Indians Minute to talk about girls golf.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you for listening to the Indians Minute, sponsored by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Josh Dodson. His office is located at 809 South Neosho Boulevard in Neosho, Missouri. For more information, his number is 417-451-1504.
This portion of the game is brought to you by People's Bank of Seneca, proudly investing in our community and you since 1996. They provide checking and savings accounts as well as CDs and loans for individuals and businesses. They offer multiple locations in Joplin, Seneca, and Neosho, or visit them online at peoplesbankofseneca.com. People's Bank of Seneca is here for everyone in the 4 states. Proud supporters of the Seneca Indians, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized, and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
A nonprofit organization, a sponsor of high school sports.
It's time for the Freeman Sports Health Minute. The Freeman Sports Team is proud to serve as the official sports medicine provider for over 20 area high schools and colleges.
Welcome to another Health Minute here on KNEO. Adam Winkler here with you, joined by Jen Lolleman from Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And today's topic is, Jen, what's the difference between a regular ankle sprain and a high ankle sprain?
A regular ankle sprain will really get the anterior talofibular ligament on the outer side of the ankle. It's one of the primary stabilizers of the ankle and it's frequently injured when an athlete rolls their ankle. A high ankle sprain is more commonly known for being a syndesmosis ankle sprain. It's actually where the ligaments attach the tibia and fibula together, and when you weight bear, that tibia and fibula tend to spread apart a little bit, and the syndesmosis ligaments serve as shock absorbers and prevent the tibia and fibula from spreading too far apart. So when you injure those, the syndesmosis will kind of tear in that ankle. When they go into plantar flexion or put weight on their foot, those bones will part and it will cause severe pain. And those take a lot longer to heal than a regular ankle sprain.
For the Freeman Sports Health Minute, I'm Adam Winkler.
Thank you for listening to the KNEO Sports Network Halftime Show. The teams are headed back out on the field. Seth Wilson and Ben Walcott are ready to go in the broadcast booth, and Daryl Harbaugh is returning to the sideline. The third quarter is almost here. Back with more Indians football after this on the KNEO and Seneca Indians Sports Network.
If God is all-powerful and all-loving, it would seem inconsistent with his nature to allow anyone to be lost.
Now, what the Bible means by the word lost is that you will not go to heaven when you die. Billy Graham.
God is a holy God. He cannot have sin in his presence.
But we're all sinners. So how can you or me or anyone ever not be lost? The answer is Jesus Christ.
God suffered that we might be forgiven. Talk about love. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life.
If you'd like to pray with someone about starting a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, call us anytime. 855-255-7729. That is 855-255-PRAY. And it's from the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
And we welcome you back in here at the half. Seneca and Lamar all tied up at 14 apiece. Halftime show sponsor, Prairie Top Chiropractic. Looking through some stats from that first half. Seneca only 4 minutes, 54 seconds time of possession, 15 offensive plays, compared to Lamar's 1906 time of possession with 32 offensive plays. 31 rushing attempts for Lamar, 110 yards, and one passing play for 18 yards. Seneca 6 rushing attempts for 47 yards, and 7 of 10 passing for 94 yards. Kind of not typically what Seneca wants to be, is a pass-first type of offense. Only 6 rushing attempts so far. The big one was Hunter Haynes' big run down the sideline that he had on a jet sweep. Otherwise, I think Roman Miller's only got 2 carries on the night, so had a little bit of a hurry-up 2-minute offense as they had the ball in their own 15 following a defensive stand and forcing Lamar to punt. And Seneca had their back against the wall. Yeah, Miller's only has 2 carries tonight for 3 yards. So
yeah, I mean, you think about it, Seth. Really, Seneca's basically had one possession, because you have your 2-minute hurry-up offense and then you have a kick return for a touchdown. Otherwise, Lamar has done exactly what they hope to do in controlling the football.
I mean, I know it's a great strategy to do, is to keep the ball. If you can outscore and keep the ball out of your opponent's hand, just try to control the clock as much as possible.
Well, they're trying to limit possessions
Right.
here, and so, you're hoping to eventually end up with the ball, going down and scoring with no time left. Seneca gets the ball here to start the second half, see if Seneca can go in and score, and then all of a sudden that puts a little more pressure on this Lamar team.
Well, that one fumble going in on about the 5-yard line was huge key. It was ruled down. They said the ball was not out before the whistle was blown. And that's a tough one for the Seneca defense because they worked really hard, fought to hold up strong there in that long drive by Lamar. It took them 15 plays to score from 62 yards out. So,
and how many plays did it take them to score from 36 yards
right,
out?
10. So that was 3.6 yards per. That's easy math for me there, Ben. I can do that one. So they're only averaging about 3 yards per carry the entire night. So just 3 yards in a cloud of dust right now is what Lamar's going to.
And that's all that they really want to. That would have been, Blaze Graham did a nice job of catching that ball at the 3, but, we were kind of talking about just, try and go a couple more yards into the end zone there and, have a lead going into the half and then potentially getting a second score and really ramping up the pressure. If Seneca can get a score and then get a defensive stop and maybe get a 2-score lead, that would put a whole bunch of pressure on this Lamar team to get out of what they want to do.
Well, this is exactly where Lamar wanted to be at halftime, close to Seneca, not letting them put up a lot of points on the board. I mean, we know Lamar is not 100% healthy. Seneca not 100% healthy. Knew it was going to be a tough game up here tonight at Lamar, where they've been state champion 10 times. You look across the way, and Ben and I were talking about this a while ago. When you win a lot of state championships, you're having actually a really good season. You're 5-3. A lot of high school programs would like to be 5-3, but the expectation here is to go win a state championship. So fans don't sometimes start showing up until there's almost a playoff game, an important game to be at the field on Friday night. Most of the time on these games, you'll just have the parents there, and there's not a whole lot of people across the way from us, Ben.
Yeah, and I mean, Seneca always does a great job of traveling and getting fans here. But like you said, I mean, normally on a Friday night, you expect, especially a place like Lamar with the tradition that they have, for it to be packed. And it looks like the stands are only about half full.
All right, we'll take a break. We come back. We'll have more halftime show for you right after this.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
Looking for a personal checking account with real rewards? Open a Community Choice checking account at First Community Bank and earn up to $200. Get $100 when you set up direct deposit and another $100 after just 15 debit card purchases. No monthly service fee, free online and mobile banking, and interest paid on your balance. Open your account today with just $50 and start enjoying the perks. Call 888-780-8391 or visit firstcommunity.net for details. First Community Bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC. See bank for complete details.
KNEO would like to thank the Big Nickel for sponsoring this portion of broadcasting on 91.7 FM. The Big Nickel is an advertising shopper for thousands of different items, from automobiles and livestock to help wanted and real estate. It covers a 70-mile radius in the 4-state area and is available in area businesses each week. Located at 1931 East 20th Street, Suite 103 in Joplin, Missouri. Their telephone number is 417-624-4100.
The Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce is an organization that exists to make Southwest Missouri a better place to live. That is why they are proud supporters of high school athletics. They understand that the life lessons learned from sporting competition teaches responsibility and discipline and makes our student athletes better citizens for tomorrow. Learn more about local area events online at neoshocc.com. Proud supporters of local school athletics.
I'm Bryce Johnson with this Unpacking It Sports and Faith Minute. Many sports have out-of-bounds lines indicating where a player is allowed to go. And although players are free to move anywhere they want within those lines, getting too close to the line increases the chances of stepping out of bounds. When following Jesus, we're given boundaries to protect us and keep us from going out of bounds. Unfortunately, we too often flirt with sin and get as close to the line of disobedience as we can. Instead of asking where the line is, we should be more concerned with where God is. We should want to be closer to Him rather than close to the line of sin. In the Bible, it says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Today, let's be encouraged to remain centered on Jesus with a strong desire to please Him. Let's not tiptoe around sin, thinking we're not going to cross the line. I'm Bryce Johnson, and you can unpack that. For more, go to unpackingit.com.
And we welcome you back in here to the half as Seneca and Lamar all tied up at 14 apiece halftime. So sponsor Prairie Top Chiropractic. And Ben, there's not a whole lot to talk about. We've kind of talked about every single situation that's happened so far in the first half. Only two possessions by the Indians technically. One was a special teams kickoff return by Roman Miller, 60-plus yards. And then the other one being Seneca's only had two possessions outside of that. One of them was a 2-minute drill where they had to go 85 yards and try to score before the half.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing defensively for this Seneca team is they've gotten this Lamar team in 3rd down and long, 4th down and long. You think about that second touchdown for Lamar. They converted a 4th down and about 8 on a fake punt attempt. That kicker, I believe, is their quarterback, and it was a rugby-style kick. He saw a bunch of green, knew he was going to be able to get a first down, able to get the first down, and they continue to drive, and that's the ball control offense that we were talking about. They were trying to squeeze possessions out, and, so far they've been able to do that because they only have, I think, 3 possessions of their own, 2 touchdowns and a punt. So, combined you have basically 5 possessions in one half. That is insane to think about.
47 offensive plays through one half. Usually you're looking about 60 per game per team, and we're not even there yet at the half for both teams combined. As we have about a minute to go here before we start the second half. I believe, have they wound the 3 minutes?
No,
they
that's the first. That's the first.
So we still got another 3.5 minutes to go. We'll step aside for another 2-minute break. We come back, we'll have the second half action for you here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is, better health, better you.
Amory Roofing and Construction, based in Seneca, Missouri, specialize in roofing, siding, guttering, remodels, decks, and new construction. They also handle concrete, fire, and flood mitigation, and even work directly with your insurance claims. 417-389-6986. Whether it's a small repair or a major project, you can count on Amory Roofing and Construction for quality, integrity, and craftsmanship. See more online at amoryroofing.com or find them on Facebook.
Lions Forward is more than a campaign. It's our commitment to the future. Through private giving, we're expanding educational opportunities in Joplin and the four-state area, strengthening programs, and investing in our students. Many MSSU graduates choose to stay in our region, becoming the healthcare professionals, educators, and business leaders who keep our community strong.
Marine Center Incorporated is a sponsor of Seneca Athletics. In business since 1979, they offer Mercury and Suzuki motors, along with low boats as well as boat repairs. Located at 4961 Highway 43 in Joplin, Missouri, open Monday through Friday 9 to 5, Saturday 9 to 12, and closed on Sunday. For more information, the phone number is 417-781-7450 or online at marinecenterjoplin.com. The Marine Center Incorporated, where the slogan is, your family boating headquarters.
And we welcome you back in here to the half. We are 40 seconds to go till we start the second half at Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium in Lamar, Missouri. Halftime show sponsor, Prairie Top Chiropractic. Seneca and Lamar all knotted up at 14. Seneca will be back deep to receive this second half kick.
You got to watch an onside kick, Seth, because Lamar would love to get the ball and start the second half with the ball and have that ball control offense. So I think everything's on the table for this Lamar team to start the second half.
Ball carriers in that first half for Lamar. Williams has 9 carries for 47 yards. He didn't touch the ball one time in their first drive. It wasn't until their second and third drive that he got a bulk of their carries. Just kept going to him over and over and over again.
Be interesting to see as they had to flip sides. Seneca was on the wrong end zone. Hunter Haynes and Blaze Graham, they're just trying to warm themselves up, give themselves a couple extra.
Nice little jog. Yeah, a while ago they had that weird sidewinding kick that Torbeck tried to place over here in this near sideline. Let one of his kickoff guys get downfield. Nolting is on that far side, so you got to watch him trying to do the same thing to Hunter Haynes' side. Torbeck's got the go-ahead. Second half action underway here. It's a pop-over kick that Drew Sherwood's going to field at the 38-yard line.
They did not call a fair catch.
And he didn't, and he's going to be down at the 40. First down and 10 for Seneca.
Good job there by Sherwood, though, to make sure that he snagged it. Stay tuned after tonight's game for today's player of the game. Sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. For more information on chiropractic services, by Dr. Seth Wilson, call 417-776-4556, the sponsor of Seneca Indian Athletics.
Seneca looking a little bit that 2-minute drill, a little bit out of not what they want to go to, a lot of passing plays. But
yeah, a little out of sync there to end the half, see if they can get back to what they want to do here to start the second half.
Brant Laughlin checks in. Handoff's going to go to Roman Miller to the right side. He gets wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Only a 2-yard gain brought down immediately by Terram Williams.
And Seth, this is what we were talking about. This Lamar defense is known for their run-stopping ability, and they've done a good job of stopping one of the best backs in the state.
Second down and 8 coming up for the Indians. Blaze Graham bringing the play in from the sideline.
Haynes picked up here a little bit to start the second half.
Trying to keep my papers from blowing away here, and almost lost one of them. Trips to the far side this time for Laughlin. Drew Sherwood split out to the near side. Laughlin going to take the snap. He's going to run the option. Pitch is going to go to Miller. Miller trying to get to the edge. Makes a cutback. Makes one-man miss. Still on his feet. And he's going to be wrapped up and taken down to 41. There was no blocking on this edge. There was 3 defenders immediately there. They were ready for the option play. And now it's third down and 9.
I was going to say, it looks like he lost a yard.
Well, Brent Laughlin didn't make any defender come to him. He didn't take anybody out of the play. So that left it all up to Roman.
Third down and 9 coming up for the Indians offense. Sponsors for today's game: Newmac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, Prolube Maintenance Center, and Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Big third down play here for Seneca. You don't want to give them the ball back after only possessing it for a minute and a half.
Direct snap's going to go to Miller. Miller trying to bounce to the outside, and he's not going to have anywhere to run as Hughes was trying to get his guy pinned down, but Williams was too quick to get to the edge and set the edge. Miller only able to get back to the line of scrimmage, no gain in the play, and Seneca's going to have to sit on the punt team to start this third quarter. Second half. Third quarter is what I'm trying to say.
Keep at it, you'll get it.
Seth, I know Davidson is your punter here, but it looks like they're going for it.
2 receivers to the near side. Davidson in shotgun formation.
And they did get him to jump offside.
That's number 56. That is Logan Martin, 6'4", 275-pound junior. So that's going to give him a little bit shorter distance to go. Fourth down and manageable up to about the 46-yard line.
The arrow route, they've done a good job, has Lamar on that. Maybe try those screen plays. You also have a lot of room to that far side if you want to try a jet sweep. But the 2 guys that run those jet sweeps are starting on that far side. Big play here to start the second half.
Trips to the far side for Davidson. Davidson's going to hand it off. It's going to be reversed to Hunter Haynes. Haynes has got enough room. There's going to be a holding penalty called on Landon Hughes. That play is going to be brought back as Hughes has a guy hooked. And it's going to be a 10-yard penalty.
And it's from the 49, so it's going to be back to 4th and 11.
Fourth down coming up still for the Indians.
And so we'll see if they go back to the punt here, as Seneca now looks like they are bringing in the majority of the punt team. And some of the fans here think there was a face mask call as well that they missed. I didn't see one.
Where we've been at, but I'm also following the ball carrier.
Well,
so.
he grabbed him by the helmet down here is what happened.
Clay Davidson on to punt this one away. Good punt for our Davidson. Fielding that one's number 21, trying to reverse field, trying to go to the right side now. And there's a penalty flag that comes flying at the 41-yard line, probably in the area of holding. And the return man was number 21, Toby Ansley.
We'll see. It'd be from the 42, it looks like. So you go 10 yards from the 41 or 42.
First down and 10 either way for Lamar. Seneca Indian football brought to you tonight by Southwest Missouri Bank, Neosho Daily News, Doug's Body Works, Prairie Top Chiropractic, Cedar Lane Farm and Garden, People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Christian Health Center Ministries, and the Seneca School District.
So Seneca was only able to possess the ball for about 2.5 minutes before after punting it back. Can you find a way to get off the field here?
Two receivers the far side for Powell. Powell's going to take it and run it to the right side where they like to run to. Roman Miller missed him in the backfield, and Hunter Haynes is going to drag him down, but not before Powell can get to the 39-yard line. A pickup of 8, second down and 2. Miller saw it. He was just a split second too late to get there.
Can't have missed tackles on a team like this.
Ball's at the 39. 8:53 to go here in the third quarter.
They are obviously taking their time getting the play in because, like we said, they're trying to squeeze possessions out of games here.
Knowlting to the near side with Torbeck. Two wingbacks in as well. Powell looking over to Coach Beshore. Doesn't look like anybody was quite set as Powell's going to run it to the right side. He's got a head of steam, and he's going to be finally brought down across midfield at the 48-yard line. All they've done is run right, run right, run right. 13-yard pickup for Powell and his carry. Ball across midfield now. Clock will stop momentarily till the chains are set.
I think he got out of bounds, Seth. He was nailed out of bounds,
gotcha.
So that's why the clock's not moving. You notice Jace Renfro has moved to that right side where they're wanting to go over. It's Seneca's left defensive side.
Vincent Knowlting in motion. It's going to be Powell faking it to him, run it to the right side, and he's going to be stood up and finally brought down at about the 46-yard line. I'm going to say his forward progress was there. 2-yard pickup, second down and 8.
But I think Seneca trying to get Renfro over that side where they're trying to run all the time.
Second down and 8. Again, Lamar taking their time. They don't break the huddle. They don't even really get a full-on huddle. It's kind of just everybody spread out looking at the wristbands.
Nowadays, with those wristbands, you don't need a huddle.
2 wingbacks, 2 receivers to the near side. That's going to be Powell running to the left side, changing things up a little bit. He's going to have his legs taken out from anything by Clay Davidson at the 45-yard line. Good play there. Pickup of 1 on the play, third down and 7.
Seneca needs to find a way to make this a short gain to give themselves a chance on fourth down.
This is eerily similar to the first drive that Lamar had where they just quarterback, and then they finally get 8 yards when it's third down and long.
You have to watch those counter plays to one of these wide receivers coming in on a motion.
Balance set for Powell. Powell looking over the defense. Going to look to pass. Throwing the screen route. Torbeck's got it hauled in as he had the inside leverage on Sherwood. And all he had to do was just a nice, easy pitch and catch from Powell to Torbeck all the way down to the 33-yard line.
That's where bump and run coverage comes into play. If you're Seneca, you'd love for Sherwood to be up a little bit more there and bump him off the line.
12-yard pickup. Ball at the 33-yard line. 6:53 to go in the third quarter. Sponsors Campbell Viticum Funeral Home, the Big Nickel, Missouri Southern State University, Marine Center Incorporated, and Community Bank and Trust. Powell's going to take it. False step to the left, comes back to the right, going to be brought down from behind by Aiden Crane at the 31, a pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8.
But Seth, you notice who's over on that left side now for Seneca defensively. You got Jace Renfro, Brock Pendergraft spending a lot more time, and all of a sudden it's Lamar's right side, Seneca's left side. All of a sudden they're having a little bit more problems running over there.
2nd down and 8 coming up for Lamar. Torbeck on the near side. Now they're going to switch and go split back formation behind Powell. Handoff's going to go to Williams. Williams running to the right side. Just gets behind his big offensive lineman. Forward progress to the 26. Pick up a 5 on the play. 3rd down and 3.
They obviously saw something in the formation that Seneca was running that they liked because they switched to.
I think that's just a design. Go up there and then change at the last second. The line of scrimmage to split backs and run it to the right side. I think maybe B Shore just calling that pre-snap. Hey, we're going to shift back to split back, start out here. Now they're going to go back to a 2 quarterback system as Williams joins Powell in the backfield.
Watch the counter.
Powell's going to go in motion. Direct snap to Williams. He takes a false step and he's going to reach out, try to get the first down. They're going to say no gain on the play to the 26-yard line, not quite to the 25, 4th down and 3.
Seneca did a good job of shooting the gap there and making sure he didn't get much of a gain. They gave him a gain of a yard on the play. Make it a 4th and 2. Big down here for Seneca as Silas Ball comes in for Brant Laughlin. Seneca going a little bit bigger at linebacker.
Wishbone formation coming in, give it all. I also got to watch play action. Him rolling out to the right side on a bootleg. That's what they used to do a lot of time in wishbone formation.
Most of the time with wishbone, they're just giving it to that first guy through. And that's exactly what happened, and I think Seneca stopped them. What a stop by Seneca.
Forward progress down to the 24-yard line. It'll be a turnover on downs. Good job by the Seneca defense.
I apologize, Seth, for that one. I was talking and the play happened, and you just see the middle of that defense. Seneca able to bow up and get a stop. Coach, I couldn't see. I think it was Renfro in the middle. Who else was in the middle that clogged that up?
You got me because there's nothing but a big old pile of them, but at least we got in there and stopped them. Stuffed them a little bit.
And I think...
Yeah, there's an injured player. Salas is the injured player as he took that fullback dive and came up limping, maybe cramping or trying to stretch him out. We'll take a break here as they tend to him on the field. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Cedar Lane Farm and Garden at 143 Cherokee Avenue in Seneca is your local feed dealer and a supporter of Seneca Indian sports. Offering vet, livestock, and pet products, Cedar Lane also carries a full line of farm and garden supplies. For more information, contact Cedar Farm and Garden on Cherokee Avenue in Seneca today. The number is 417-776-8231. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. through 2 p.m. for your convenience. Go Indians!
And we welcome you back here. Third quarter action, 4:35 to go. Big stop by the Seneca defense. Trips to the near side. One receiver split out to the far side. Davidson's going to run it to the right side. He's got a little bit of head of steam fighting for extra yardage and taking that big body of a sophomore all the way to the 33-yard line. Good run there by the sophomore quarterback.
Yeah, he just gets behind the big uglies there on that basically middle. Roman Miller able to get a block as well. And what did he do, Seth? Most importantly, he fell forward to get a couple extra yards.
You say big uglies like that, cracks me up. It reminds me of a set of twin brothers that I graduated with, and they called them Little Ugg and Big Ugg. Trips to the near side, one to the far side. Davidson, it's going to be a direct snap to Miller. Miller's going to get behind Davidson's block. He's fighting for extra yards, going to have enough for the first down up to the 37-yard line to pick up a 4 on the play, 1st down and 10.
Some point, Roman Miller, and it's not Roman Miller's fault. Roman Miller needs to get more involved in this game. That one, a direct snap there to him.
6 carries on the night, only 8 yards. It's been slow going right now because we're trying to get a push up front. And you see Taron Williams just switch sides now. He was D-end on this near side. Now he's on the far side. Moved away from where we typically like to run. Davidson play action. He's looking deep downfield. He's got Blaze Graham open, and he overthrows him by about a step. Oh, man, he had him open on the play action. Just a straight go route there for Graham. Had the inside. beat, and he falls incomplete. Just put a little too far out there.
Community Bank and Trust, proudly serving our customers for the past 140 years. Visit their branch at 1102 South Cherokee for all your banking needs. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Proud sponsor of the Seneca Indians. What that does, though, Seth, makes it second down and long here. I don't know if you feel like you can run the ball here on second down the way Seneca has been trying to.
Going to send a man in motion. That's Hunter Haynes. Haynes is going to get it. There's no room for him to run. He's going to be taken down hard by Taryn Williams at about the 37, 38-yard line. So just a gain of 1. There was nobody blocking those 3 defensive players for Lamar, 3rd down and 9.
Well, Seneca, the first time there wasn't anybody blocking them, but Seneca was able to fake them out. That time, Lamar a lot more disciplined on the play. And now 3rd down and long for Seneca to run a draw play here.
I'd say just let your quarterback take it, or Roman Miller take it up to the middle. Brant Laughlin going to check back in here.
I mean, the way Lamar is able to stop them defensively, it'll be interesting to see Seneca bringing those receivers in.
Brant Laughlin going to look to pass, looking deep downfield, and he throws that one well short of Brant, looking for Blaze Graham. Graham was open on the drag route across the middle of the field.
And I think Seneca, with the Graham there, I think he got hurried up a little bit as Davidson is going to have to come back in and punt again, as all of a sudden this is becoming a defensive clinic here in the 3rd quarter.
Sponsors for tonight's game: Southwest Missouri Bank, Neosho Daily News, Doug's Body Works, Prairie Top Chiropractic, and Cedar Lane Farm and Garden. 4th down and 9 coming up. Clay Davidson on to punt this one away. Good snap. Good punt. Hayden Crane right there. And
I thought he caught a fair catch.
Yeah, I think so too. Balls at he took off running with it too. I don't think you're technically supposed to do that if you called a fair catch.
Yeah, well, that's what had me confused a little bit. Nice punt there by Davidson. Make sure you stay tuned after tonight's game for the Final Drive Scoreboard Show, sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Also, check out our live scoreboard during the game. Go to kneo.org/sports. Click on the scoreboard link or download the KNEO iPhone or Android phone apps for the latest scores from games around the area as they're happening.
Now Seneca defense got to go back to work. No score here in the 3rd quarter between these two teams, 14 apiece.
See if they can bow up again defensively as they're going to do a running
Kyle's
counter
going to run it to the left side. He's going to be stood up by Landon Hartg at the 32-yard line just to pick up a 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8.
And, Seth, we talked about at halftime, or, maybe off air a little bit, about how this Lamar team is loving to run over that right side. Well, guess who's moved to that left side for Seneca? Jace Renfro. And all of a sudden, the running lanes aren't as big for this Lamar team now that he's over at left defensive tackle.
Balance set for Lamar. Powell in at quarterback. Reverse play. Torbeck's going to look to pass. He's looking for Williams down over the middle, and it's incomplete as Torbeck had a pressure in his face from Jace Renfro and Roman Miller, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Williams over the middle.
Seneca,
3rd down and 8.
Seneca did a good job there, Seth, because there was 3 different defenders. They did not bite on that double reverse pass. Big 3rd down here. Can you get off the field if you're Seneca? See if they can make a 3 and out.
1:51 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Receiver to the far side. That's Torbeck.
Watch the quarterback draw here as well.
Knowlton's going to be over here on this near side. Going to send him in motion. It's going to be a gift to him, a high gift to him. They're trying to string that out to the far side. And they're going to be brought down on the far sideline. Clay Davidson taking him down at the 33. A gain of 1 on the play. 4th down and 7.
Once again, though, Seth, you got to watch that rugby-style kick. Make sure you have enough guys in coverage, because if he has a lane, he's going to take it and try and get a 1st down. More and more kickers nowadays, you're seeing in college and the pros as well, they do that rugby-style kick, because if you got blockers in front of you and you got a lot of green, they're going to take off and go for a 1st down. Good boot.
Blaze Graham's going to retreat and field this one on his 31-yard line. Makes the first man miss, still on his feet to the far side, the 40, and he'll be pushed out of bounds at about the 38-yard line, and he slips and falls over there on the tarp. Slick field tonight.
Keep up on the latest Seneca broadcast ball game schedule. Be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/KNEO Radio. Follow us on X at KNEO917 Sports. Seneca softball fell in the district championship game on Monday night to Cassville in their season. Congratulations to them on a great year, falling just short of that district title. And our next Seneca broadcast will be in Week 11 in the district semifinals for Seneca football.
Receivers each side for Davidson. He's going to run the option. He's going to pitch it to Miller. High pitch. Miller's going to make the first man miss. Still on his feet. Lowers his shoulder at the 45-yard. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds. And Coach Hilburn thought he was going to be gone, man.
Davidson, though, did a good job there of making the defender make a commitment. That's what Coach was talking about with Laughlin, is he didn't make anybody commit. Davidson there made somebody commit.
9-yard pickup for Miller on the option play.
And like we said, Seth, Roman Miller, you just got to find ways to get him the ball. He is a game changer. He's one of the best running backs in the state, especially in Class 3.
Trips to the far side, one receiver the near side. Handoff's going to go to Miller. Takes a stutter step, makes some first man miss. Still on his feet, the 45. Down the sideline, far side he goes. Down to the 34-yard line. First down and 10 inside Lamar territory. Big run there by Miller. He took the handoff, had Taryn Williams on his back, and he did the rest himself.
I don't know if he's part of the hurdles team in track, but he worked a hurdle there as well and got a couple extra yards.
19-yard pickup for Miller on that carry.
Seneca only needs potentially one more snap here in the quarter if they want a fast-moving third quarter, as both teams' defensive have come to play here in the second half.
Trips to the near side. It's going to be a fake pitch. There's a penalty flag comes flying in. 2 many men in motion. Davidson's just going to have to take the play down to the 27-yard line.
Sideline warning.
So the play will stand, so that's nice. The play will stand as Seneca, because Davidson picks it up to the, he's marching the ball backwards.
A sideline warning should not march the ball backwards.
No, he's confused.
Because the umpire still has it where he should be.
He doesn't know what the call is. He's just looking to see if finally get word. He's going to get it set here at the 27-yard line, I believe.
So it should be 2nd down and 2. It looks like a gain of about 8 on the play. And Seneca does not have to snap it if they don't want, but it looks like they're going to try and get a play here.
Trips to the near side for Davidson. Direct snap to Miller. Miller's going to get behind Davidson's block. He's got enough for the first down. See, he runs over the defensive back trying to come up, trying to make the play, Nolting. And Miller just runs him over to the 20-yard line, a pickup of 7 in the play, first down. As there's 4 seconds, that'll do it for the third quarter play. We go to the fourth quarter, all tied up at 14 here at Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Huddle Springs Church of Christ is bringing you today's ball game. They're a family-friendly church located just a few miles outside Seneca at 19306 Huddle Springs Road. With Sunday morning and evening worship services as well as midweek services on Wednesdays, check out HuddleSpringsChurchofChrist.org for more information about all the classes and fellowships they offer throughout the week. Huddle Springs Church of Christ, where they say, we want to go to heaven with you.
We welcome you back here to start things in the fourth quarter. Seneca looking to score here. Ball on the 20-yard line to start this fourth quarter. I'm not sure. Miller may have not stepped out of bounds on the option play a while ago. Coach Hilburn was upset, and then he had to pull himself back, and then they give a sideline warning about 3 plays later after that. So either way.
Well, you got to be careful now, though, if you're Seneca, because the next one's a 15-yard penalty.
All right, just got to give that umpire enough room to run down the sideline is all you got to give him.
Well, theoretically, you're not supposed to be in the white, or I guess it's the black once you get inside the red zone, but...
First down and 10 for Seneca. Ball on Lamar's 20-yard line. You're going to have trips to start this fourth quarter action for you.
And, Seth, you notice, whether it be a direct snap, they are finding ways to get Roman Miller the ball.
4-man front, 4-2 look. Miller's going to take the direct snap to the left side. He's going to lower shoulder at the 15-yard line, brought down by Nolting that's number 21 for Lamar. That is Ansley.
Well, Seth, you see here on the replay, not only are you finding ways to get Roman Miller the ball, Davidson did a good job of cracking back and getting that defensive lineman. Otherwise, it would have only been a gain of 1 or 2.
6-yard pickup there from Miller on that carry. Trips to the far side.
When your quarterback is getting a defensive lineman, you know something's going right.
Miller's going to take it and run it right up the middle. Had a head of steam at the 10-yard line. He gets met there and then finally brought down, but it's going to be first down and goal for the Indians. On the stop, Carson Parker, the 5'11", 190-pound senior, first down and 10.
Once again, direct snap to Roman Miller, and Davidson just using a lead blocker there, and now Seneca trying to wear them down a little bit here, Seth. Just pound it, pound it, pound it. See if you can pay it off with a touchdown.
5-yard carry from Miller on the last one. Clay Davidson at quarterback. And that's going to go to Miller no, Davidson's going to keep it to the left side. One man to beat. Touchdown, Seneca Indians. Touchdown, Clay Davidson, as he punches it in from 8 yards out. And the Seneca Indians have the lead tonight.
You see it here, Seth. They fake it to Roman Miller. Everybody in the building bites on it. He takes it to the left side, and an easy 6 for Clay Davidson.
Magnus Gasway onto the 10th point after Brant Laughlin, a holder. Roman Miller, the snapper. Good snap, good hold. Kick is going to go up, and it is good. 10:57 to go here in this one. Seneca leads 21-14 on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
Proudly supporting the Seneca Indians is Doug's Body Works. Owned and operated by Doug Scribner, they offer a 24-hour wrecker service and specialize in auto body and frame repair. Doug's Body Works is located at 1008 Oneida in Seneca and is proud to serve the local area. 417-776-8611. Go Indians!
And we welcome you back to Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium. Seneca leading 21-14. Sponsors for tonight's game: Mid-America Specialty Markets, Missouri Farm Bureau Agent Josh Dotson, Gatson Snack, Hoddle Springs Church of Christ, Access Family Care, Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home, The Big Nickel, Missouri Southern State University, Marine Center Incorporated, and Community Bank and Trust.
Roman Miller came in here special teams-wise. I think Coach has seen something, and Roman Miller has convinced him that he needs to be out there for kickoff duties as well, because they're trying to get him breathers anywhere possible, but the way the couple returns Lamar has had, I think Roman Miller is saying, hey, I need to be on the field here on kickoff duties.
Sky kick that's going to be fielded at the 28-yard line.
And guess who made the tackle?
Tripped him up enough. That was Hunter Haynes. Maybe that was Roman.
It was Roman Miller.
Tripped him up just enough. I thought it was Hunter at first. Ball's at the 40-yard line. Lamar will have it first down and 10.
Stay tuned after tonight's game for today's player of the game, sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. For more information on chiropractic services by Dr. Seth Wilson, call 417-776-4556, the sponsor of Seneca Indian Athletics. First time all night, Seneca's had the lead. See if you could get Lamar out of what they like to do.
Gotta get a turnover right here would be huge.
Our secondary better keep their eyes open.
Yes.
I think Torbeck's 2 for 2 on the day as well.
Direct snap's going to go to Williams. He's going to run it right up the middle. He's going to be upended by Hunter Haynes at the 45-yard line. I think he thought he was going to run over Hunter Haynes, and that's hard to do.
Yeah, Hunter Haynes, for as small as he is, he loves contact.
Still too many.
It is 5 yards. That's about what Williams is averaging tonight per carry, 12 for 58 yards, 4.8 yards per carry. Williams in the backfield once again. Going to send Torbeck out here to the near side. Going to send Powell out here to the near side. And it's going to be straight Williams running up the middle. And he's going to have enough for the first down. Penalty flag comes flying in at the 49-yard line.
Umpire threw it, so it's probably in the area of holding. We'll wait and see, and it is holding on Lamar. So it negates the play, and you take it from the line or from the spot of the foul. So it should be second down and about 15, maybe 16.
All the way back to the 37-yard line it goes.
It's one of those teens.
Yeah.
Yeah, second down and 13.
We need somebody to step up here and make a play.
This is where you got to watch that play action pass, because they easily could sneak somebody behind the defense if you're not paying attention.
Williams in the backfield with Powell. It's going to be an inside handoff to Moore. They haven't ran that in a while, and he's got a bead down the sideline. Blaze Graham's going to take him down at the 40-yard line. A big play by Moore. They haven't run that since the first half. Somebody lost their key all the way down to the 39-yard line.
Drew Sherwood was on that far side. Hard to see from this side, but a lot of Seneca fans were calling for a holding call there on Drew Sherwood.
24-yard carry, the longest play of the night for Lamar.
If you're in a 5-2 defense, that defensive end's got to keep his outside shoulder free and not get hooked.
And I think that was Aiden Crane on that far side.
2 wingbacks, 2 quarterbacks in for Lamar. It's going to be Powell running it right up the middle, and he's got a good head of steam going forward. Forward progress is going to have him stop at about the 29-yard line. And Lamar's is moving the ball now with ease down to the 29. First down and 10.
Well, you think about, Seth, I think their first possession of the half, they got stopped on 4th and 2, and it was deep in Seneca's territory. Seneca bent but didn't break. See if Seneca can, they've bent, see if they can get a stop here.
Williams looking at his wristband, talking to Powell, trying to figure out the play. Wingbacks for Lamar. Coach Beshore is going to call a timeout. We'll step aside 8:53 to go here in this one. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Amory Roofing and Construction, based in Seneca, Missouri, specialize in roofing, siding, guttering, remodels, decks, and new construction. They also handle concrete, fire, and flood mitigation, and even work directly with your insurance claims. 417-389-6986. Whether it's a small repair or a major project, you can count on Amory Roofing and Construction for quality, integrity, and craftsmanship. See more online at amoryroofing.com or find them on Facebook.
And we'll welcome you back here. Fourth quarter action. Seneca leading 21-14, but Lamar is threatening. They've had basically a 5-play drive so far. That's netted them roughly 32 yards.
And they're also milking time off the clock as well.
Just right at 2 minutes so far. 2 wingbacks, 1 receiver split to the near side. Inside handoff. He's going to be wrapped up and, not brought down. They had him wrapped up in the backfield. Clay Davidson was there and unable to bring him down. Had a big loss, but he's going to get to the 26, so just a pickup of 2.
Yeah, but instead of a loss of 4 or 5,
Right.
The difference is 5 or 6 yards there, and that could be key.
Second down and 7. First time for Parker to get the ball tonight for the Lamar Tigers. He's at that wingback position. It's Carson Parker.
We got to hang on when you get him in the backfield, boys. Hang on to him.
Good responsibility there by Davidson, but just got to get the tackle and take him down. Same formation once again. Going to send Moore in motion. Going to run the toss play to Williams. Williams trying to get to the edge, and Aiden Crane does a good job to hold him up. And finally, they finish him off on the far sideline with Roman Miller. They're going to say he got up to the 23-yard line, a pickup of 2. Third down and 5.
But a good job there, Seth. Last time we talked about how maybe they got hooked there. Crane didn't get hooked that time and forced him to the outside where he had some help. They say it's third down and 4.
Ball's at the 22. The original line of scrimmage is at the 28. Third down and 4. Powell's going to take it, try to run to the right side. He's going to be stood up and wrapped up and taken down. I didn't see quite who the first man there was. That's a stop on the play. Good job by the Indians defense. First man coming off the bottom of the pile looks like Brock Pendergraft.
4th down and 4 here, Seth. Maybe 4th down and 5. He may have lost a yard.
Yeah, 4th and 5.
You got to watch that wishbone formation, Seth, where that fullback just gets ahead of steam. A big play coming up here with 7 minutes to go.
Can't jump off sides either.
The Seneca crowd comes to their feet. They know this is a huge play.
Powell's in shotgun formation. Seneca's going to call timeout. We'll step aside with them. Be back with the 4th down play right after this.
Access Family Care serves all of your health care needs, from behavioral health to dental services to primary medical needs. AccessFamilyCare.org. Women's health, OBGYN services. AccessFamilyCare.org, with locations across Southwest Missouri. AccessFamilyCare.org. Quality, convenient health care. Access Family Care Medical and Dental Clinics, building relationships, providing great care.
You got to go with what brought you to the dance, and he's doing it.
4th down and 5. Coach, we're talking here back on air, is trying to figure out what they're going to go with. They've been giving the ball to Williams on 5-yard carries, 5-yard carries. Look for them to do that right now, as Seneca needs to stay onside, not jump offside. Trying to get that extra push.
He needs the 17.
Going to drop back to pass, and it's going to be caught over the middle by Torbeck, enough for the first down inside the 15, giving up that inside shoulder. And it's a 14-yard, down to the 14-yard line, a 9-yard pickup.
That was a good catch there because Drew Sherwood was draped all over him, but had inside leverage and able to get the first down.
We need a turnover here at some point. It's going to happen for Lamar because they got away with one earlier. At one point, it's got to come back to haunt them that they got away with one.
Turnover on downs works too.
It does. They're going to shift, go wishbone formation behind Powell. Powell's going to hand it off to Moore. Moore trying to bounce to the left side. He's going to get stood up. Penalty flag comes flying in from the referee at about the 12-yard line. And it's a hold against Lamar.
Make it first down and 20. Maybe first down and 19. I think they're calling it from the 12. And the first down is at the 13.
It's calling from the 13-yard line.
Okay, so it's first and 20. Well, I was right. First and 19. Guess I shouldn't, doubt myself.
First down and 23 coming up for Lamar. 6 minutes to go in this one.
That's a big play call that's a big holding call because now they're behind the chains a little bit, and Seneca jumps offside. No, they didn't.
No, they didn't jump offside. They flinched but didn't move. Inside handoff to Moore. Drew King giving chase. He's going to string that one out. He's going to slip out of that one, and he's going to say he got down at the 22-yard line, maybe the 21. Pickup of 2 on the play. Second down and 17.
But Seneca able to string that one out, Seth, and make sure that he didn't get any more than what he did.
21.5-yard line. Sponsors for tonight's game: Newmac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, ProLube Maintenance Center, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College Christian Healthcare Ministries, and the Seneca School District. One receiver to the near side, 2 wingbacks in once again. Powell and Taron Williams in the backfield. Powell going to drop back to pass, gives a pump fake. He's got pressure. He's going to escape the pressure. Roman Miller's going to come up. Finally, Drew King not able to take him down. Powell's just going to keep lowering his shoulder and scrambles free all the way down to the 7-yard line.
Seth, they were trying to go a sluggo there on this far side. Drew Sherwood did a good job of not biting, but Seneca couldn't wrap up, and all of a sudden it's 3rd down and short.
3rd down and 3, a 14-yard pickup there for Powell on that carry.
And it's all because Seneca couldn't wrap up. This is where you watch for that fullback dive on this wishbone play.
Handoff's going to go to Williams. Williams going to get stood up. He's going to have enough for the first down across the 5 to about the 3-yard line.
Almost looked like that fullback left him a little bit early.
Yeah, they are getting up there and almost leaning forward and getting that forward momentum going before the ball snapped. I've noticed that several times. Some of their linemen aren't even set. They're going down to the 3-point stance, and they're snapping the ball. 4:25 to go here in this one. Lamar taking their time, trying to score. They might try to go for 2.
I was going to say, do they go for 2 if they score?
Wishbone formation behind Powell again. Going to shift. Not to inverted wishbone. Powell's going to roll out. And it's going to be batted down by Clay Davidson. Good job by him to get his hand up there because it would have been a touchdown for Lamar. 2nd down and goal.
Well, what do they always teach you? If you can't get to the quarterback, put your hand up. That's exactly what he did. Everyone at the Neosho Daily News versus Seneca Indians. Good luck. Let's go get that win.
Clock stops momentarily to the next play. Sponsors for tonight's game: Sports State Sports Report, Dairy Queen of Seneca, First Community Bank, Neosho Chamber of Commerce, and Emery Roofing and Construction.
You know what got Lamar here is running the ball. You have to think a run is coming.
Center. Handoff's going to go to Williams. Williams going to get stood up. His second effort's going to be into the end zone for the touchdown.
And now will be the interesting call here.
They're going to keep their offense out on the field, it looks like. don't see him bringing a kicking block out.
And Drew Sherwood injured his arm. He is holding his arm.
Seneca all kinds of dinged up right now. May have got a stinger on that play.
And you have to think something similar to that dive play is what's coming.
Yeah. Big play coming up here, 2-point conversion. Powell's in the backfield. He's got a wishbone formation behind him.
And that's a false start. Yeah, so now they may go for a kick because it's a 2-point conversion from the 8-yard line instead. So it makes it a little bit harder, and now here comes the kicking unit, Seth. Well, I say that, but I still don't see. Oh, there's the kicking block. It's going to be a 25-yard field goal or extra point. 63 is the kicker.
That's Chris Juarez.
He does have a pretty good leg, seeing him hit some 45-yarders in warm-ups.
Seneca not able to get there. Kick is up, and it looks like it sails through. 4:03 to go this one. We're all tied up at 21. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
And we welcome you back here. 4:03 to go in this one, all tied up at 21 apiece.
Seneca has their hands team out there on the front line. You got Ryder Owens, Easton Haynes, Brant Laughlin, Jackson Yoakum, and I can't tell who's on that far side. I may be Storm Oiler over there on that far side. Drew Sherwood is back in, so maybe just a little bit of a stinger. Roman Miller on that second line as well. Seneca expecting an onside kick.
A lot of plays, guys going through the mind, a lot of things going through the mind. First thing is just get on top of the ball. Don't try to get upfield with it, just jump on top of it. And it's going to be a squib kick that's going to go out of bounds. Seneca catches a break ball. Is going to be placed at the 35-yard line.
Well,
or where it went out
I was
of
going to
bounds.
say it should be where it went out of bounds because
it's short
it's
of the 35. Yeah.
Because it should be at about the 40, 42.
They're going to stay at the 37-yard line. First down and 10 for Seneca. Ball on their own 37-yard lines with 4 minutes to go.
No, 42, Seth.
Well, they walked it across the 37, so I was wrong.
But, Seth, Lamar was trying to kick it off one of the Seneca defenders and have it bounce back. Seneca did a good job of making sure that didn't happen. 4 minutes to go. Can you get a game-winning drive here if you're Seneca?
Trips to the far side. Davidson's going to run to the left side, get behind Roman Miller's block. He's just got to hang on to the football. They're going to say maybe he got a yard on the play.
I don't think there's any game.
This near side judge has got him at the 43, 42. It's going to be second down either way. I'm going to say he got to the 43. Second down and 9.
Both teams 2 timeouts. I don't know what Gastaway's range is on a night like this. The wind's going against you. You probably have to get within the 20-yard line to even think about.
Trips to the far side. It's going to be a direct snap to Miller. Miller's just going to take it right up the middle. He's going to be stood up the 45-yard line. Just a gain of 2 on the play. Third down and 7.
This is a big play, Seth. You don't want to give the ball back to Lamar. Lamar's had a problem scoring quickly, but with a good kicker, they could get in field goal range too.
Under 3 minutes to go in this one. Trips to the far side again. Jude King split out to the near side. 4-man front for Lamar. Listen, Blaze Graham in motion. Oh, there's a false start on the right side. I'm not sure if it was Gentry or if it was Landon Hughes. False start's going to march him back 5 yards.
Makes it third and a little bit longer.
3rd and 12.
They bring in Jude King. Seneca going to go quickly on the ball here. And they're going to pass.
Clay Davidson looking to drop it out to the near side. Hunter Haynes hauls it in just shy of the first down marker. 4th down and 1, 11-yard pickup. And I don't know if their ball is wet whenever these quarterbacks are getting it, but they are. Whenever they try to grip the ball and throw it downfield, it comes out flat.
Well, if this is a big 4th down play, you have to think the ball is going to be in the hands of Roman Miller. I don't care how he gets it. It's got to be a Roman Miller time here for Seneca.
2 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. All tied up at 21 apiece.
And Lamar calls timeout.
Lamar calls a timeout. We'll step aside with him. We'll have the 4th down play for you in 30 seconds.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
4th down and 1 coming up for the Indians. 2 minutes to go in the game. Well, Lamar called the timeout. Seneca talking things over, kind of helped them out a little bit, make sure they want the right play in there. Coach Hilburn and his offense.
Seth, what has brought you this far this year? Roman Miller. Ball's got to be in Roman Miller's hands saying, hey, if we can't get a yard, we don't deserve to win.
Trips to the far side for the Indians. Handoff's going to be a direct snap to Miller. Miller's going to get the edge. He's going to get tripped up from behind. The touchdown saving tackle there coming up by Parker. But Miller would have been gone if he not gotten tripped up from behind to the 46-yard line and getting a 3 on the play for new set of downs.
And the clock will continue to wind here as well. So Lamar's going to have a hard time getting the ball back. Seneca has Crane checking in as well as Hunter Haynes. And so you're going a little bit bigger. You go double tight here with Jude King on one side and Crane on the other. And now you bring in your wide receivers.
Almost like a wingback formation. Play action. Davidson's got pressure in his face. He's going to get flushed out of the pocket. He takes off and run. He's going to get tripped up from behind. Parker again, the touchdown saving tackle, but that's good enough to give him a little bit more closer to the end zone. Ball's at the 43-yard line. Pick up a 3, 2nd down and 7, 1:15 to go.
He did a very good job there, Seth, of hanging on to the football and just getting what he could.
1 minute to go on this next snap.
Seneca wants to be the last team to have the ball here tonight.
Receivers to each side for Davidson. Davidson going to drop back to pass. He's going to throw the out route to Sherwood. Sherwood hauls it in, and he's going to get out of bounds. They're going to say he stayed in bounds. Sorry.
It's okay. It's a 1st down. You stop the clock for the chains to wind, and you're sitting at the 30-yard line here with 50 seconds to go.
1st down and 10. Clock is winding. Take another shot here downfield. 44 seconds to go.
That was a stop route there.
Now it's going to be Roman Miller in the quarterback position. Hunter Haynes going to change positions. Miller going to take the direct snap. It's going to be a flea flicker looking for the backside play. That's going to be in and out of the hand, over the head of Hunter Haynes. No penalty flag. There's not a penalty there. That was just got tripped up between the 2 defenders.
Well, they're going to say, I mean, there was a little bit of a tug there at the end on Hunter Haynes.
Yeah,
but also, I think Davidson threw that one before Hunter Haynes was even looking, which sometimes those timing routes are there, but that's one where he needed to hold on to it for a second longer.
Now this is one of those where maybe you go to Jude King because they've been going to the out guys so much. Play action. Looking downfield, looking for Blaze Graham. Blaze Graham's going to haul this in. Touchdown, Seneca Indians. Touchdown, Blaze Graham with 23 seconds to go.
You see it here on the replay. He's just set up on that far side. Or did they call that incomplete? They did. Did they call that? I think they called that a touchdown.
He never laid his hands up.
No,
I don't know what
did.
he did. He ran to the 1-yard line, threw the flag up, and I don't know what he did, but that was a touchdown.
They're discussing something.
Let them figure it out here in just 1 second. We'll have the result for you.
It is a touchdown.
Touchdown stands. And it's a dead ball and unsportsmanlike conduct against the Indians.
So
he said he spiked it and threw the ball down.
So the touchdown does count.
So Graham's got to be careful for the next 23 seconds that he doesn't give another one.
And the other thing is, Seth, well, if I'm Lamar, I take that on the kickoff because then you're kicking off from the 25 instead of the 40.
Big passing play there to Graham. He put that ball where only Graham could get it. Well done.
And there's only one timeout for Lamar, but you're going to have to be careful on the kickoff.
Magnus Gasway on to attempt the point after. A good snap, good hold, kick is up, and it is good. 23 seconds to go here in this one. Seneca leads 28-21. We'll be back.
The Seneca R7 School District is proud to support the student athletes and coaches competing in this game. High school activities help students learn life values such as hard work, dedication, and teamwork. The Seneca R7 School District is honored to serve such a great community and wants to thank all the Indian fans for their great support. The Seneca R7 School District, tradition, pride, class.
And we welcome you back here to Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium. Seneca leading 28-21, 23 seconds to go in this one.
What an excellent ball there. I think it was Clay Davidson that threw it. Just a simple corner route. Blaze Graham started on this side, just went straight to the end zone, and he was able to catch it for a touchdown.
Just a straight fade route. There was no room for him to go to the corner. They just right over that right shoulder.
But we were talking off air. Coach was saying it is very true.
It's marching the ball back the wrong way.
You got to march it back to the 35.
Sure. Yeah, he's not sure which way to go.
It was on Seneca, so...
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, Seneca's happy with it, but all the Seneca fans are like, yeah, we'll kick off from the 50, but it should be from the 25.
Yeah, it'll be all the way back to the 25-yard line. It's going to give him a short field, so Seneca secondary's got to be ready to go.
Do you try and do what Lamar did against Monette? Try and nail it off one of their kids and recover the ball.
I don't know if they try to do that so much. It was more like a low kick that just like squibbed through there, and Monette just didn't cover. Thought the
you got a different kicker. Drew Sherwood's kicking instead of Gasaway.
You kind of got him back there as a safety just in case they do get free. Sherwood's going to kick this one away for the Indians. Sherwood gives a low squib kick that's going to roll all the way down. It's touched by number 10 there, and then picking it up is Moore. And there's a face mask there on Roman Miller as he went in high. And that's going to be a 15-yarder.
And that's from the 46, so they should set up shop somewhere around the 39-yard line with 18 seconds and one timeout. And Seneca, obviously, you have to be working against the pass. I don't know that Lamar with one timeout can run the football. You got to be disciplined here for the final 18 seconds. Clock will stop on first downs until they set the change. Torbeck is what, Seth, today? He's been almost perfect all night long.
Torbeck's only thrown one pass.
The other
Powell's been their quarterback. He's only thrown one incompletion so far. First down and 10 for Lamar. Ball to Seneca 39-yard line. Two receivers each side. Powell's going to drop back. It's going to be a quarterback draw. He's got all kinds of green in front of him. And Seneca's going to take him out to 23-yard line. Hunter Haynes with the touchdown. They're saying only 5 seconds came off on that play. Ooh, I don't know about that
and
one.
The other thing is you got to start the clock. The clock isn't going.
Well, the chain's not quite set. Now they wind it. 10 seconds left. Powell's going to drop back to pass. He's looking for the out route. It's caught by Torbeck at that spot. He's going to be brought down at the 10-yard line. 3 seconds. This will be the last play of the game.
Lamar calls timeout. They did have one timeout there, and obviously the game's on the line, Seth. I don't think we go anywhere on this timeout.
We'll stay right here. Ball's in the 12.
They need to guard 12 yards, and if for some reason Lamar is able to score, I think they would go for 2 and go for the win. But if you're Seneca, you got to go bump and run here, but you also have to watch the quarterback draw because that's what killed him on that first play. I mean, there's so many things to account for here on this final play. Does Seneca call a timeout? to try and answer theirs. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, you play solid defense in the secondary, and the defensive line doesn't need to run upfield to try to put pressure on the quarterback.
No,
you need to stay in your lanes and make sure that kid stays in the pocket.
They may even try to run the ball up the middle with Williams because he's been getting big chunks of yardage. So I know it may be tempting to throw the ball, but if you're getting so much of a pressure upfield, the middle's going to be wide open just like Powell had a while ago to run the ball. Coach Beshore giving some final instructions to Powell. 2 receivers to each side. Maybe a jump ball to Williams over in the corner.
Yeah, you got
empty set for Powell. Powell's got trips to the near side. He's going to drop back to pass. Coach Crane calls a timeout. Coach Hilburn calls a timeout.
Seneca was confused there, Seth, on their coverage,
Yes.
and that's why Coach Hilburn called that timeout. Because Hunter Haynes and I think Brant Laughlin on this side weren't exactly who they should be covering.
They're going to get the clock back up to 3 seconds because they probably ran it off to 1 second. I don't know how they ran the play, but no play was ran. 1 timeout left for the Indians.
But, I mean, this play is going to have to happen because you can't have back-to-back timeouts. So, unless there's a false start or an offsides, you can't call back-to-back timeouts.
Coach Hilburn talking to the side judge over here as the Seneca defense makes their way back out on left field.
Play of the game, play of the season, well, not of the season, but play of the game coming up. Seneca's talked about adversity all year long. They're facing tons of it as Seneca brings in Easton Haynes in for Silas Ball, an extra defensive back in for the Indians.
Trips to the far side for Powell. Now he's going to switch and bring more back to the near side. Seneca playing look like the man coverage.
And Seneca calls a timeout. Apparently you can call back-to-back timeouts.
And they're saying you can't. Coach Beshore's talking to him. You can't call back-to-back timeouts. Either way.
Apparently you can in high school.
All the timeouts are gone. Nobody can call anymore. 3 seconds to go. 28-21. Big play coming up here for the Indians. Thank you to all of our sponsors throughout the season. Thank you to my wife back home taking care of everything so I can go out here and do this and follow the Seneca Indian football team. My 10th year doing it. It's been a lot of fun. And we hope the Seneca Indians have a deep playoff run. Coach, I know you come out with us every single week. No longer have a grandson to follow so much on the football field, but we would like to thank your wife for also letting you tag along with us and keep us in line. You got to keep these boys in control.
She knows she's a widow on Friday night.
All by herself on a Friday night.
Seneca's going a little bit smaller on the line here. Only 3 linemen. Pendergraft, Hughes, and Renfro on the line here for Seneca.
Trips to the far side for Powell. Powell's looking. Going to drop back to pass. Pressure coming, throws it right over the middle. Terran Williams going to get it. He's into the end zone for the touchdowns. Time expires.
And now Lamar probably going for 2 in the win here.
Lamar scores with no time remaining.
We'll see. They look like they're setting up the kicking tee. They're going for potentially overtime here. You have to watch a fake.
Yep.
But they do have the kicking tee out.
They're going to huddle up. Normally a kicking team doesn't huddle up. They're going to go wishbone formation. Silas Ball going to check back in for Brant Laughlin. They're going to go for 2 in the win right now. 2-point conversion coming up. They've got the wishbone formation and no timeouts remaining. Powell under center. Going to turn around, toss sweep out to Williams. Williams is going to get to the edge. He's going to be in, and Seneca falls short 29-28. 29-28 final score. Seneca's perfect season comes to an end here at Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium. Just heartbreak for the Indian fans as this place goes quiet.
Well, here's the thing, Seth. In the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter because you're still the number 1 seed in your district and you're still got a chance at a state championship.
We're going to take a break. We come back. We'll have the postgame for you right after this.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
A business impact partner of KNEO is ProLube Tire and Auto Center in Neosho. Serving the area since 2001, they're open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. ProLube Tire and Auto Center offers tire and brake repair, as well as transmission service, front-end alignments, and more. Located at 1406 North Business 49 in Neosho. More information 417-526-4984 or online at proluberepair.com.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is Better Health, Better You.
Proudly supporting the Seneca Indians is Doug's Body Works. Owned and operated by Doug Scribner, they offer a 24-hour wrecker service and specialize in auto body and frame repair. Doug's Body Works is located at 1008 Oneida in Seneca and is proud to serve the local area. 417-776-8611. Go Indians!
A proud backer of the Seneca Indians is Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca. Located at 1101 Cherokee, they are honored to serve the area with traditional service options including church and graveside services. They also have prearranged funeral plans. For more information, the phone number for Funeral Director Mike Steele at Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca is 417-776-2251 or online campbell-biddlecomefh.com.
Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca is the place to go before or after the game. Check out their amazing menu of fan-favorite blizzards like Oreo or cookie dough. Happy hour is daily from 2 to 5 p.m. That means everything you can drink from a straw is half price, excluding premium shakes. Don't forget to grab one of their $7 meal deals or their signature stack burgers and top it off with a Misty Slush. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca, located at 308 Washington, open daily from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Proud to support the Seneca Indians.
Missourians know we've got their back. For 75 years, they've turned to Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance for dependable, personalized life insurance coverage. That's 75 years protecting families and the lives they've built. For small-town values and big-time protection, call Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We've got Missouri covered.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
And we welcome you back here to the postgame show. We're going to send it down the field, and Coach Harbaugh's got our player of the game, Blaze Graham, tonight. Go ahead, Coach.
Hey, we got Blaze Graham down here. Look, let me tell you something. It's a heartbreaking game the way that ended. But I'm telling you what, you played a heck of a game, and it was a great catch over there in the corner.
Yep. I got to make smarter plays on that. I didn't mean to spike it, but I did, and I made a dumb play.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things you're going to learn from. You're going to watch film, and you're going to learn from this game. And, you just got to take those lessons on. We've got bigger fish to fry, okay, later on, and everybody knows it. Okay, we're still going to be the number one seed. We're still going to be good. We're going to make a run through the playoffs, and I know you're going to be a big part of it for this team.
Yep. We got bigger goals. I mean, we would have loved to win this one, but, we made mistakes. We'll get better at it and then hopefully carry it forward.
I agree 100%. Okay, let's go. Hey, you probably got a bye week. So let's take a couple weeks off. Let's reset, and let's come back for the playoffs, okay? We're going to send it back up to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. That's the player of the game tonight. Blaze Graham had a tremendous catch with 23 seconds to go over his shoulder. Just unfortunately had a unsportsmanlike penalty, and then we had a face mask on the kickoff team coming downfield to set up shot for Lamar at Seneca's 39-yard line, and just 3 plays later they were able to score as time expired. And Seneca falls 1 point short tonight in their regular season. First regular season loss for the Indians since 2022.
Yeah, they lost week 9 to Nevada, and then, was able to get to state semifinal here in Lamar. So, like we said, obviously some bigger fish to fry tonight, or bigger fish to fry for the Indians. And, Seneca playing shorthanded tonight as well. I think you like Seneca's chances with Kai Adams and Brody Probert in there for Seneca, but got to give credit to Lamar because they were playing a little bit shorthanded as well. So.
They're playing shorthanded, but their strategy was all night tonight was just to keep the ball out of Seneca's hand as long as possible, and that's what they did. And Seneca had the opportunity to go up a couple different times before half, unable to just really get a drive put together there in that third quarter. Start out the second half, you get a second down and 8, and you find yourself behind the chains, just not able to run the ball like we usually want to, and so it's just hard to get what you like to do going.
Yeah, we shot ourselves in the foot. I mean, we had them where we want them, 3rd and long several times, 4th and long several times. We just weren't disciplined to make the plays at the right time.
But like Coach was saying, you kind of use this as a learning experience, and you got a couple weeks off to try and get some guys healthy here, and bigger fish to fry. Obviously, first time in really 3 seasons that you've lost a regular season game, but in the grand scheme of things, Seth, I think Seneca, they would take one loss here in week 9. And win a state championship over, potentially losing, going undefeated in the regular season and losing later on.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody thought Lamar was going to be down this year. They're still 6-3, a lot of big wins. The only losses they have were Mount Vernon and I'm drawing a blank right now. Who are their other losses?
They lost to Matt County and Nevada.
That's right. So they had some losses here and there, but their game plan was to control the clock. Once their quarterback went out against Mount Vernon, they tried to go with their big plays, and so they thought, well, we're just going to try to control the clock the rest of the way, and that's what they've done the entire season. All right, we're going to take a break here. We come back, we'll have more post-game show for you. Your post-game show sponsors Crowder College and the Seneca School District.
Locally owned, operated, and here for you. Check out the new face of the Neosho Daily News, covering Newton County, highlighting area residents, businesses, school news, sports, and more. Find us on Facebook at Neosho Daily News or call 417-451-1520. Go get 'em, Indians!
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
Mid-America Specialty Markets of Seneca is a supporter of the Seneca Indians, and they're proud to bring you today's game. They provide insurance services for the 4-state area, including home, auto, life, and agribusiness. Located at 910 Washington Avenue in Seneca, they are licensed in Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Kansas. Learn more today at midminsurance.com or call 417-451-9177. Mid-America Specialty Markets. Protecting your business and family is our specialty.
And we welcome you back here to the post-game show. I'm joined by the head coach of the Seneca Indians, Coach Cody Hilburn. First off, not congratulations, but a tough game tonight for you guys. Kind of seemed a little bit out of sorts. We knew Lamar was going to try to control the clock, try to control the ball as much as possible, and that's what they did. And you guys really had to fight for every single yard out there tonight.
Yeah, it was tough. We didn't get very many. I think we only got 2 possessions in the first half, so it was tough to normally use that first half to kind of show all of your stuff, and then you get a feel for what they're doing, and we didn't get the opportunity to do that. And we had a hard time getting off the field on 3rd down, but all stuff that can be fixed. And, it's I told our kids we've tried the other path of winning them all, and that hadn't worked out. And, yeah, we want to win every time out, but if this creates some learning points for us, and it will, and so we can really hone in on some stuff on the bye week and hopefully become a better football team.
Defensively, you guys had several drives there. You mentioned not being able to get it off the field on third down, but, man, all they wanted to seem to do was run the ball right at you guys over and over and over again. You guys, a little bit of a different front rolling out there tonight, 5-man front out there tonight. Talk about how they kind of were able to adjust that, this being implemented this week for the first time all season for your defensive side.
Yeah, I really thought in the second half they played really well. We made some adjustments at halftime, and, they're going to do some new stuff, and that's football. And how fast can you adapt to what they're doing and get it fixed? And I thought our defensive staff did a really good job at halftime getting that stuff fixed. We can't have 2 blank drives in the first half. We got the ball coming out. I got to do a better job of finding a way to get us in the end zone.
Yeah, you guys are unable to get a possession that first half, unable to get an offensive play till 9 minutes, I think it was, in the second quarter. Can't get your rhythm going on offense, but you finally are able to get it kind of going in the second half. You guys go up 28-21 on the great pitch and catch from Clay Davidson down to Blaze Graham, but that ball a couple times tonight only where Blaze could catch it, and he went up and made some spectacular catches tonight.
Yeah, you could tell he was growing up a lot, and that's – going forward as your program, that's good to see that he was able to do some good things. I thought he ran the ball really hard, and both those kids that were playing quarterback, we asked them both to play defense tonight, and especially for a sophomore, that's really, really hard to do, and I thought he did a great job.
You had Brant Laughlin out there, had 4 or 5, I think, in the first half, completing passes, was able to kind of get your offense going. Something we haven't seen a whole lot, too, is Roman Miller taking some direct snaps out there, and you guys are able to get a little bit of a push-up feel with him. He was maybe one guy away multiple times tonight from busting a big play down the sideline for you.
Yeah, that was good. Sometimes when you have, Clay's a 210-pound kid, so we were able to use him as, we didn't want to, obviously, the way they were stacking the box, we needed our quarterback run game to be even with them in the box, and obviously you don't want to eliminate Roman, and so we had that package in, and to make sure that we were still able to get Roman some carries.
All right, Coach, we're going to let you go tonight on this, and we'll see in 2 weeks, I guess, in the district semifinals. We'll figure out where we fall, where we play at. We play at home, but against who we don't know. We'll find out down the road.
All right, thank you, guys.
All right, we'll take a break here. We come back, we'll have more post-game show for you right after this.
Looking for a personal checking account with real rewards? Open a Community Choice checking account at First Community Bank and earn up to $200. Get $100 when you set up direct deposit and another $100 after just 15 debit card purchases. No monthly service fee, free online and mobile banking, and interest paid on your balance. Open your account today with just $50 and start enjoying the perks. Call 888-780-8391 or visit firstcommunity.net for details. First Community Bank, where community comes first. Member FDIC. See bank for complete details.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Newmac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is newmac.com or 417-451-1515. Newmac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is better health, better you.
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
A proud backer of the Seneca Indians is Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca. Located at 1101 Cherokee, they are honored to serve the area with traditional service options, including church and graveside services. They also have prearranged funeral plans. For more information, the phone number for Funeral Director Mike Steele at Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca is 417-776-2251 or online campbell-biddlecomefh.com.
Forbes asked, and the people answered. Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance is one of America's best insurance companies. Forbes recognizes what our customers have known for generations. We are committed to protecting families and the lives they've built. For auto, home, life, and business protection, call Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We've got Missouri covered.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
And we welcome you back into the postgame show. Your postgame show sponsors Crowder College and the Seneca School District. Running through stats for your Seneca Indians, Brant Laughlin was 4 or 5 for 60 yards through the air tonight. Clay Davidson was, I don't have a total on that one, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of 11 for 88 yards. Laughlin had 3 carries tonight. Roman Miller had 13 carries, 60 yards. Clay Davidson, 5 carries for 29 yards. Hunter Haynes, 2 carries for 49 yards, Blaze Graham had 4 receptions, 87 yards. Roman Miller had 2 receptions for 17 yards. Sherwood had 1 reception for 13 yards. Hunter Haynes had 3 carries for 31 yards. Totals for the Indians tonight, 23 rushing attempts, 134 yards, 5.83 yards per carry. And passing tonight, 10 completed passes for 148 yards for the Indians, 282 total yards. Time of possession tonight is the big stat that I want to go over. 32 minutes, 53 seconds time of possession for Lamar. Seneca only 15:07 on the entire night. So that was the big difference in the game overall.
Well, we talked about it pregame, Seth. Ball control, and Seneca would have to find a way to get some points otherwise. If they were able to find some way to get some points otherwise, but Lamar was able to control the ball, and then those couple penalties there at the end on that kickoff is really what did Seneca in, because you had the unsportsmanlike, so you're kicking off from the 25, and then instead of them starting the ball at the 48, 49-yard line, they're starting at the plus 31 or 32.
Yeah, it really wasn't anything big. It was just the 2 penalties. 2 penalties that hurt him big time. Looking over some of Lamar stats real quick, I'm just going to look at their totals. They had 51 rushing attempts, 226 yards. That's a 4.4 average, and they completed 5 passing attempts out of 6 for 62 yards, 288 total yards. So a 1-point difference ball games, you expect the total yardage to be neck and neck. We're going to take a break. We're going to go into the Final Drive Scoreboard Show, sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine right after this.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Welcome to the Final Drive Scoreboard Show on the KNEO Sports Network. The Final Drive Scoreboard Show is sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the official sports medicine provider for over 20 area high schools and colleges. See how one of their certified physicians, certified athletic trainers, or therapists can help you get back in the game. Now, let's go back live to the stadium for the Final Drive Scoreboard Show on the KNEO Sports Network.
And we welcome you to the Final Drive Scoreboard Show, sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Looking at our scores tonight, Cassville over Aurora. That's in the fourth quarter, 42-14. Mount Vernon over Monette in the fourth quarter, 42-36. Lamar, again, final tonight, 29-28 over Seneca. McDonald County, 28, East Newton 0. That's a final score. And Nevada comes back to beat Pleasant Hill 21-19.
In the COC, there was 3 games last night. Carthage beat Neosho 56-14. Nixa beat Glendale 63-21. Republic beat Willard 59-7. And tonight, Webb City beat Joplin 42-28. And Lebanon beat Waynesville 56-7.
Running over to the Ozark Mountain Conference, Marshfield over Highland, Arkansas, 28-14. That's in the fourth quarter. West Plains leading Carl Junction in the fourth quarter, 36-30. And Logan Rogersville over Bolivar, 14-7. That is a final score.
The Mid-Lakes Conference, one final score for you. Hollister beats Reed Spring, 56-42.
And in the Southwest Conference, Marionville all over Miller tonight, 45-6. And that's in the fourth quarter. Ash Grove final over Sarcoxy, 18-10 over Sarcoxy tonight. No 8-man scores there. We're going to take a break. We come back. We'll have the Oklahoma scores and Kansas scores right after this.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
And we welcome you back into the Final Drive Scoreboard Show, sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Running over to the Oklahoma scores last night, Cushing over Miami 34-7, Wyandotte over Commerce 62-14.
In the SEK, Rose Hill beat Independence 35-12. And in the CNC, St. Mary's Colgan over Southeast 61-7. Baxter blanks Galena 49-0, and Frontenac blanks Neodesha 35-0.
That's going to do it for the Final Drive Scoreboard Show, sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Special thank you to Daniel Moore for taking care of all those score stream sports for you. Make sure you haven't downloaded the KNEO app and do that so you can have all those scores right at your fingertips as the playoffs get ready to go here in Missouri starting next week. Of course, Seneca will be on the bye next week, and we'll wait to face the winner probably potentially between Hollister and Aurora, if I'm not mistaken. And then after that will be a championship game. So we'll see what happens. A lot to be left to play out there. We know the Seneca team and the Seneca faithful are heartbroken after tonight's game, but it's the end of the regular season. Now it's time to move on. You got 3 phases of your season, kind of move into phase 2 with the playoffs. So Seneca can make a push in a deep run in the playoffs. Hopefully we'll be playing in December. Special thank you to Landon Reiser, our cameraman this evening. So for Daniel, Landon, Coach Harbaugh, Ben Wolcott, I'm Seth Wilson saying so long from Thomas O'Sullivan Stadium. Again, your Indians falling short tonight, 29-28, here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
You've been listening to the Final Drive Scoreboard Show on the KNEO Sports Network. The Final Drive Scoreboard Show is sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. See how one of their certified physicians, certified athletic trainers, or a therapist can help you get back in the game. Join us again after the game next week as we will once again bring you all the latest scores right here on the Final Drive Scoreboard Show, sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. This has been a live production of KNEO Sports. This broadcast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of KNEO Sports Network. This has been a sporting outreach of KNEO Sports Network, reaching into communities to make a difference for eternity.